Welcome to a historic night here in Pearland, Texas. This is The Rig, and tonight is the first annual Dawson Pearland Bowl. Tonight, the undefeated 11th ranked Pearland Oilers take on the 4-1 Dawson Eagles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome high atop The Rig alongside Jeff Power. I am Michael Silvers. Welcome to this historic night here at The Rig. Jeff, let's begin with the Dawson Eagles. They lost their first game in week 1. They have rolled up 4 consecutive wins. They are defeating opponents by an average of 30 points per game, thanks in large part to their quarterback, Vance Galloway.
Yeah, Vance Galloway has been sensational this year. 1,198 yards passing, 478 yards rushing. That actually leads the Eagles on the ground rushing this year. He's been very impressive and picking up where, the previous quarterbacks have had a lot of success here at Dawson, and he's just picking up right where they left off.
On the other side of the field, you have the Pearland Oilers, state champions in 2010, runners-up a season ago, and they returned senior running back Jacoby Butler.
Yeah, Jacoby Butler, 1,536 yards rushing last year with 25 TDs. He's already had over 600 yards rushing this year with 12 touchdowns, and 2014 is looking really good for Pearland. They've got a huge offensive line, and that makes Butler look good.
Oh boy, are we ready to get started. Coming up next, the opening kickoff to the first annual Dawson Pearland Bowl. We're glad you're with us. Let's have some fun. This is the Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
As you take a look at the Dawson Eagles making their way onto the field here at the Rig. It's a District 22 6A battle. First time between these two Pearland ISD high schools. As the Oilers come with sledgehammer in hand. Led out by Willie Williams. It's an 83-degree night at kickoff with winds blowing at 8 miles per hour, but it feels a little more up here where we're at. Jeff, your thoughts on what needs to happen for either school to come out on top and remain undefeated in district play? Both teams enter 3-0.
Well, when you talk to both coaches, the first thing you hear them say is no turnovers. Obviously, you want to work on the details of special teams, but in talking with Eric Wells, the head coach for Dawson, he said they want to overcome Pearland's size, slow down Butler, and also limit their own mistakes. And that's kind of the key right there. That size difference is going to be huge in this game because Pearland does have some good size, and that could be maybe the difference in the game. Now, Tony Heath, a little more right down the center. He kind of just gives you the old cliches, but he knows the importance of winning that turnover battle and winning special teams and being able to run the football. That's what's made Pearland so successful through the years.
We talked with both coaches on Wednesday night, followed up with them on the field prior to kickoff. They both downplayed the idea that this is going to become some fierce rivalry, but instead just another way to bring the community of Pearland together as one.
Well, and it's breast cancer awareness. You see the pink P and the pink D out at the middle of the field. Good to see. The place is absolutely packed. The bands are situated in either corner of the end zone because of the overflow crowd, about 10,000 on hand for this one. They're calling it the Battle of Pearland. There's even going to be a trophy handed out at the end of the game. I can't wait to get this one started.
As you saw our head official tonight, referee Rocky Marcinelli, on your monitor, the Pearland Oilers won the toss. They have elected to receive the opening kickoff. 2010 state champions in a come-from-behind win over Euless Trinity. Lost last year in the state final to the Allen Eagles 63-28, wrapping up a 14-2 year. Dawson lost in the Region 3 championship game as a Class 4A team a season ago, losing to Stratford 38-7. Twice in their history, a young history, started varsity football in 2008, have they reached the state semifinals in 2009 and 2011. Each of those 2 times, they were eliminated by the eventual state champion Lake Travis Cavaliers.
Yeah, and Dawson, both of those teams had a lot of offense, but not enough defense to slow down the Cavaliers on those particular days. But this is shaping up to be a great matchup. Let's just say Pearland has been waiting for this forever, since Dawson opened, no question about it.
Jonathan Sam, Isaiah Chaney back deep to receive the opening kickoff. Tyler Day will kick it off for Dawson. Fans on their feet. Packed house here at the rig. Kickoff taken by Chaney. To the 35. Forced out of bounds. That was actually Jonathan Sam on the return, but he's out of bounds near midfield. And a good start for the Pearland Oilers.
Well, and Jonathan Sam had just a wall of blockers in front of him. Great special team start for the Oilers, wearing that pink P on the side of that all-black uniform with, of course, breast cancer awareness here in October.
There's Jake Blumrick, senior starting quarterback. First season as the starter, threw for 261 yards last week and a pair of touchdowns in a win over South Houston, 49-7. The Oilers begin with 5 wide. Pass complete to the right-hand side. Nope, instead through the hands of Ryan Desitel, starting tight end. Backs receivers Jacoby Butler had 86 yards on 10 carries and a 6-yard score against South Houston last week. Up front, Willie Williams anchoring that offensive line. The only senior amongst the starting 5 has offers from Fresno State and New Mexico. On the ground on second down, Jacoby Butler with a flag down. Butler short of the 50-yard line. And we'll check the marker.
Eric Wells talked about that size differential. You'll see it right there on the offensive line. They've got to overcome that with speed. That's what Dawson's been known for, really, since their onset, is the speed they bring.
Offsides called on Dawson. Last week, the Eagles penalized 9 times for 70 yards in their win over Pasadena Memorial, 56-6.
2nd and 5 for Pearland.
2nd down and 5. It's Butler. Butler off tackle right, squeezes his way down to the Dawson 43 for a first down on a pickup of 6.
Yeah, the Pearland Oilers content to run the ball here in the early going. You want to take the nerves out of the equation. It's not just the coaches, the players are a little bit nervous. Even the fans are nervous. You can just feel it.
Defensive line, Tyler Davis returned an interception, 37 yards for a touchdown last week. On the rollout, Blumrick fires deep down the field and almost caught. Ryan Diaz tipped it to himself with his left hand, but could not haul it in.
Well, Ryan Diaz getting a finger on it. Let's take a look at this one more time. Great pass by Blumrick. I thought this ball was going to be overthrown, but look at Diaz stretching out the finger. Almost made the perfect catch. Could not come up with it, though. Wow.
Landon Guzman in on the coverage. 2nd down and 10. Back on the ground of Butler. Tries to pick a hole and will be pulled down from behind. In on the tackle was Brandon Guzman. Pick up a 4.
You'll hear a lot of coaches talking about that they can get the feeling of the game with the way the offensive line is pushing against the defensive line in the early going on that first drive. If you're an Oilers fan, so far so good. They're moving the ball pretty well here on the ground.
Oilers averaging 406 yards per game on offense, 212.6 yards per game on the ground. 3rd down and 5 from the Dawson 37. Handoff Butler to the edge for a first down and more. Out of bounds. At the 24-yard line, Vincent Fisher lowers his shoulder and hits him out of bounds.
Dawson needs to find a way to contain Butler. He broke to the outside, used the stiff arm right there, and picked up the first down. That is a patented play by him.
A look at the linebacking core for the Dawson Eagles. We'll get to that right after this play. 1st down and 10 for the Oilers on the Dawson 25. 4 receivers in the lineup. Handoff, Butler bouncing his way through the middle of the field and gets taken down at the 20-yard line, picking up 5.
Nice blocking by number 5, Daniel Penny of the Oilers.
The linebackers
5-yard
Two
gain.
juniors, two seniors in the linebacking core, and in the secondary, Fisher, Guzman, Rhodes, and Mitchell.
See in the background there the baseball championships here at Pearland as well. A lot of success in athletics.
Butler lines up to the left of Blumrick out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 5. And a little miscommunication on the handoff to Butler. Blumrick has to recover on the ground. He'll lose a pair.
Nice recovery by number 7.
That's one of the things that you can ill afford in a big game. That's Blumrick. That ball just kind of came out of his hand there for a second. Just trying to see if maybe Butler might have tipped it on the way going by, but it didn't look like it. Just a lack of concentration there by Blumrick for a split second.
Tyler Davis, senior defensive end, the aforementioned 37-yard interception return for a touchdown last week, leading the way. Now 3rd down and 8 from the 23. And a look to the Pearland sideline for the play call from Mike Norman, the offensive coordinator at Pearland High School. Needing it down to the 15. Blumrick will throw. Under pressure, he scrambles to his right. And he throws along the sideline, and it's complete. Cody Williams, his 12th catch of the season. Blumrick tippy-toed along the sideline and delivered a strike to Cody Williams.
Yeah, Cody Williams, only a junior. And he looked like he was open just beyond the 1st down marker, but there might be a flag on the
No,
play.
it's not a flag. They ruled it incomplete. In fact, they may have said that Blumrick actually did step out of bounds before delivering the pass, because the line of scrimmage is now set at the 28-yard line. That's a loss of 6 on the play.
Let's take a look at it one more time. What a big break here for Dawson as they finally get that big 3rd down play that they need. And this time, yeah, Blumrick might have stepped out of bounds right there. I think that's where the call came in, because clearly the receiver Williams was inbounds.
45-yard field goal by Nicholas Keller, and it goes off the crossbar.
Can't get it close to that. That ball right off the crossbar, and a good distance, but no question about it, Michael, I'm with you. The wind is definitely blowing more than 8 miles per hour, I promise you. It swirls on the field, too.
So the turnover on downs.
The Eagles will take over on downs.
The Eagles will take over. Talking with Tony Heath, he did say that Keller's range, he felt comfortable putting him out there from 45 yards and in. He was right there, but with the wind, it held that ball back, and it clanked off the crossbars. You get another look.
It can't get any closer. Look at this. Right off the crossbar. I mean, that easily could have gone over, but not this time.
1st down pass by Vance Galloway.
You know, if you're Dawson, you're feeling like you kind of dodged a bullet there.
3-yard pass as you take a look at Vance Galloway and his numbers on the season. On the ground, Galloway calls his own number, making Pearland Oilers miss until he's wrapped up by Deontay Gibbons. Loss of 2.
No question, Pearland keying on Galloway, at least on this particular play. That's part of the game plan if you want to stop Dawson. You've got to stop Galloway. Almost 1,200 yards passing, 500 yards rushing.
Backs and receivers, Brett Winnigan led the team in rushing last year with 2,290 yards, but 3rd on the team in rushing through 5 games this season. On 3rd down and long, Galloway waggles to his right, throws a deep pass, and it's complete. C.J. Simmons at the 31 of Pearland.
C.J. Simmons going up high, timed out perfectly. An absolutely beautiful play as the Dawson crowd just goes wild. One more time, good protection up front, a key 3rd down play. Galloway just kind of putting this one up for grabs. And look at the catch right there. That is some great concentration by C.J. Simmons to come down with that one.
And off to number 2, Brett.
And on the ground, Winnigan takes it down to the 28, picking up 3 as you get another look at the big pass play. C.J. Simmons came in with just 101 yards receiving on 3 receptions. On 2nd down and 6, Galloway fires far side of the field out of the reach of Drake Rayner.
No chance to complete that one there for Galloway. Completely covered on the play was Drake Rayner.
Pass intended for number 8, Drake Rayner. Nice.
There's the Dawson High School cheerleaders. Everybody in Pearland, if you didn't get a ticket, you just missed out. This one sold out quickly.
Yeah, it did. Tailgating started about 12 o'clock this afternoon.
3rd down and 6. Galloway fires through the hands of a leaping Caleb White. Coverage on the play by Matt Lachuza, an outside linebacker. 4th down for Dawson.
Well, if you're Dawson offensive coordinator Ryan Silvertooth, you got to feel pretty good about the way they move the ball through the air. A little trouble moving the ball on the ground, but it looks like this might be a go-for-it situation here.
4 down territory on 4th and 6. Galloway with time, pocket collapses, and he throws out of bounds, and a turnover on downs.
Can't always expect the official to throw the flag on the 4th down play. We'll take a look one more time. Galloway buying some time there, rolling out to the left. Thought he was going to run, decided to pass it. And a little bit of Caleb White kind of complaining there that he was being held up. But you got to make a little bit more of an effort there to make that catch, don't you think, Michael? You do the complaining after it goes over your head.
That's right.
So both defenses bend, but they don't break.
Pearland takeover, forcing the turnover on downs. They'll scrimmage from their own 28. No score with 7:11 to play in the first quarter. On the ground on 1st down to Jacoby Butler. Tries to get to the edge, cuts it upfield, takes it over the 35, out to the 37-yard line. Guzman in on the tackle. That's about his 3rd tackle already here in the first quarter.
Jacoby Butler able to run the ball pretty well here, and that's always key to pick up 9 yards on 1st down. Sets up 2nd and 1, maybe 2 yards here.
Shotgun with split backs. Here's Butler again. Gets to the edge. Makes a cut across midfield. Out of bounds. Taken down at the 45-yard line. 18 yards on the run, and Jacoby Butler's good for another Pearland 1st down.
Yeah, Pearland is moving the chains. You see Butler's got some room, some great blocking up front. As you saw the big block right up there at the line of scrimmage. And that's been the key so far. They've been able to get the key blocks.
And Guzman again with another tackle. He's the free safety, Jeff. You never want to see your free safety making tackles.
Not for this early.
Keep it on the ground with Butler on 1st down. Butler making some moves. A couple of flags are thrown, and another one comes in late as Butler is taken down at the 37-yard line.
I thought that one came in from you, Michael.
I do have quite the arm, if I must say so myself. There's Rocky Marcinelli, our referee tonight. And it's a hold on Pearland.
Great officiating crew here. Big crowd on hand, everybody fired up. This has a playoff feel to it, doesn't it?
Pearland penalized last week 4 times for 30 yards in their win over South Houston. That negates a good run by Jacoby Butler. 1st down and 20. Back in Pearland's half of the field, they'll scrimmage from their own 45.
Mike Allison, the defensive coordinator for Pearland Dawson. Teacher of the year a couple years ago. He's trying to dial up the right defensive call here.
1st down and 10. Who's back in the game is Chase Foster. Foster will get the penalty yardage back and then some at the 44-yard line. He gains 11 on the play.
I've been very impressed with the way Pearland's been running the football here in the early going. They've been producing some big holes. Their front offensive line's doing a nice job of blocking. And they're picking up some big chunks, putting themselves in good 2nd down situations.
Foster had 40 carries coming in, 138 yards and a touchdown, averaging 3.5 yards per carry this season. 2nd down and 9. Blumrick fires far side, complete. Turning with it, Cody Williams.
Blumrick's pass complete to number 11, Cody Williams. Helping out with the stop with number 24, Vincent Fisher of the Eagles. Weather's out near the 36-yard line, going to bring up 3rd and 1 for Pearland.
From the 36-yard line, we have a timeout taken by Pearland. When we return,
Timeout,
Pearland with the ball
Pearland.
driving in Dawson territory. No score on the LSN game of the week.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
Oilers like to thank Longhorn Steakhouse for their support tonight.
And we welcome you back to the rig.
Business Center Drive in Pearland from UCB and Silver Lake. Longhorn Steakhouse, proud to support your Pearland Oilers.
Pearland Oilers coming back onto the field here. This is a key play, 3rd down and 1.
From the 36-yard line.
Rocky making sure we got our full minute in that commercial right there, kind of holding things up.
3rd down and a yard. A turn and a handoff to Butler. Butler looks like he's got the first down
Handoff to number 2, Jacoby
at the
Butler.
33-yard line.
I don't think there's any question. Pearland is making a statement the way they're running the football here in these first 2 drives. They're picking up big yardage.
With the stop, that was number
They've kind of been
33,
shooting
John
themselves in the foot a time or two, but the ground game is there. The ground game has been working for them. Whether or not Dawson starts committing and putting 8 in the box, we'll see.
Inside 5 minutes to go on 1st down. Butler could not get away from John Alexander. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but a good up-front pressure from the front 7 of the Dawson Eagles. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I think if you're Dawson right now, you feel like you've kind of dodged some bullets here in the early going. They've been able to make a couple of big stops on 3rd down, but they haven't been in the best situation on defense.
On 2nd down, Butler's blown up in the backfield. Lost back to the 38-yard line. Leading the way, it's Alexander again.
Number 99, Jordan Rodriguez.
Jordan Rodriguez also in on the help.
They blew this play up right in the middle. Rodriguez first just grabbed a hold and held on for dear life. Nicely done. You want to plug up that middle. There's no question about that. That's where Pearland's running the ball the most effectively, in between the tackles. Dawson's got to find a way to do more of that right there to keep this game scoreless.
Personnel having some confusion from the Pearland Oilers. It's an illegal substitution call on Tony Heath's team.
Had 4 receivers on the field. That all looked good. But someone came on late. Tony's kind of doing the math right now, looks like, counting the players. I think they might have had 12 players on the field.
3rd down and 20, facing the Oilers from the Dawson 43-yard line. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Blumrick on the screen pass. Complete to Diaz. Diaz tries to go to the other side of the field, and he's breaking tackles. Tries to reverse his field again, and can only muster getting back to the line of scrimmage before the Eagles converge on it.
That was great containment right there by Dawson. Just completely strung out that play. It was a good call, 3rd and 20. You're just trying to get a decent chunk of that back, and now for sure Pearland will have to punt. You see Dawson fans wearing the white, kind of a white-out look for their team in the all-white uniforms, but great pressure. They snuffed out this screen right away. When Diaz cut to the other side of the field, Dawson was there to make the tackle.
Punt team on. Punter is Cody Bernstein. High spiraling kick. And a fair catch is made at the 13-yard line.
Punt by number 12.
30-yard punt by Bernstein.
Signal by number 8, Drake Rainier of the Eagles.
And the Dawson Eagles
Eagle offer from
get the hold on defense and will come back out.
For Dawson, the Eagles heading southbound.
For their second offensive possession, their first one ended in a turnover on downs as they were able to work it all the way downfield, but then get bottled up on 3rd and 4th down.
Well, in the early going so far, Pearland's been able to run the ball pretty well. Dawson's been able to throw it pretty well.
Pass complete on the screen, far side of the field. Corralling that one, Drake Rayner, but he gets about only 2 yards on the play.
You know, it's kind of tough to sustain these drives because both teams are just not as consistent as they'd like to be with their balance. And when you're not balanced, usually drives stall out, and that's what's happened so far. Pearland twice, Dawson once.
From the shotgun, Galloway under pressure. Avoids an on-rushing Givens. Throws on the run. Into double coverage. And he overshoots the intended receiver. C.J. Simmons, who had a big catch in their first possession, just doesn't have the leaping ability.
Michael, I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. Galloway had some huge yardage in front of him. He should have run that football. He had 15 to 20 yards open on that left-hand side, decided to go deep, and threw into double coverage on top of that. You got to tuck that one away and run that one. That was an easy first down, that left side.
Galloway this season came in 66 of 104, 1,198 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. Here on third, he will run it himself. And wow, what a hit over on the far side.
That's why Galloway didn't want to run it last time.
Nowhere to go. Matt Lachuza with the tackle at the 19-yard line.
Now, this is really Galloway's first year to shine as a varsity quarterback. And as you see, he kind of tucks and runs here. The good coverage downfield by Pearland. But look at the hit by Matuza. That's a good tackle right there. Nice and low, good thrust, using that leg drive.
Tyler Day to punt it away. Matt Diaz stands just inside his own half of the field. Clock moving inside, 90 seconds remaining in this opening quarter of the first ever Dawson Pearland Bowl. Galloway is listed as the backup punter, and he was still out there, but the Eagles will call a timeout and discuss things on 4th down. Still no score late here in the first from the ring in Pearland.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
That's good.
Tonight's game is brought to you by your local State Farm Insurance agent, Bert Simmons. Like a good neighbor, State Farm and Bert Simmons are there. By the Accent Dental Group. Be true to your teeth today or they will be false to you tomorrow. And by Pearland Driving School, preparing you for the road ahead. And a blocked or a bad snap. And the ball goes out of the back of the end zone. Safety. And now a late flag is thrown as Galloway took a shot after the play from number 86, Ronnie Fraser.
Well, both teams talked about the keys being turnovers, special teams, and there's an example of both of them right there. On special teams, the ball snapped over the punter's head. And that's unfortunate if you're Dawson. But there are flags on the play, so let's wait and see and get an official ruling here.
Well, one flag was thrown at the back of the end zone. Looks like that one has been transitioned to the 9-yard line as you see the snap fly over the head of Vance Galloway. And he does the smart thing and just kicks it out of the back of the end zone, surrendering the 2 points, which is a whole lot better than 6.
I don't know if Galloway might have misjudged that one a little bit. I didn't see the ups there that I thought that he could put on that to get up there and make that grab. But that ball just kind of sailed off his fingertips.
Rocky Marcinelli talking with Pearland head coach Tony Heath. Boy, was he great to talk to on Wednesday, talking about his turnaround of the program when he came in 1997. This was a program that had gone 9-90-1 in the previous 10 seasons before his regime took over. Started that first year 2-8, but that's okay. Had 3 appearances in the state semifinals, losing in 2001 and 2006 before getting past that threshold in 2010 and winning the state championship over Euless Trinity at AT&T Stadium up in Arlington. He has done a magnificent job here at Pearland High School over his tenure.
And keep in mind, Eric Wells right there, coach with Tony Heath at Pearland. I mean, these two guys, they were talking about how strange it's going to be to look across the field and see their best friend over there.
Spent 18 years together as assistants at Lamarck High School during their huge run. Of course, at Pearland, and then Eric Wells left to open up Dawson. Began their first varsity football season in 2008. That was without any seniors.
Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty came in late there. But nonetheless, 2 points on the board for the Oilers. And the way this game's going, hey, take any points you can get right now.
So it'll be a free kick, but instead of the 20, it's going to be at the 35-yard line because of the unsportsmanlike conduct call that Jeff mentioned.
You saw the fans there with the big O shape here on the Pearland side of the stadium for Oilers, of course.
Medium distance on the pooch kick taken by an up back. Matt Lachuza. And the Oilers will start from their own 32-yard line.
You know, one more note about Tony Heath in our conversation. He said that first year they went 2-8, they made the playoffs. 2 years later, they went 8-2, missed the playoffs. How does that happen? Team in front of you, 9-1. Team on top, 10-0. You lose to both of them. There you go.
Played his high school football at Abernathy, then was transitioned to a safety at West Texas State, now West Texas A&M.
He said he passed up an opportunity to coach with Hal Mummy.
Right, exactly.
But he's done quite well for himself right here in Pearland, no question.
He's got the keys to the castle for as long as he wants it. Flag on the play, looked like Dawson's defensive line jumped across, and that's exactly what they did. That's the second time in this first quarter they've been called for offsides.
Offsides against the Eagles.
You know, we talked about the disparity. Pearland, 226 points scored, 33 points allowed. I mean, they're getting it done on both sides so far here in the young part of the season.
Average margin of victory, 38.6 points per game in 5 games this season. Begin on the ground with Butler. He has nowhere to go. May have lost a yard. They may give him the line of scrimmage.
On the stop.
You know, District 22, 6A, the likes of Dobie, Alvin, Manville's another tough team. Manville maybe one of the best teams in this area. Of course, Pasadena Memorial, Rayburn, South Houston, also Pasadena High. So Dawson and Pearland will have their hands full, but a great way to kind of get this whole district rivalry getting started here. Great night to be in here in.
Second down and 5. Screen pass. Twisting with it is Matt Diaz. Ryan Diaz out to the 41, my apologies. Ryan Diaz takes it out to the 41, and is a pickup of 4 yards on the pass play.
There are a few Matt Diaz's in the world of football, some coaches I might add, but no question, Pearland right here in the early going, feeling pretty good about the way their offense has been able to move the football, but they've kind of sputtered out once they've got deep into Dawson territory. And if you're the Eagles, keep making those big plays on 3rd down. Here's their chance again on 3rd and 1.
Diaz, his 10th catch of the year for the senior, now with 113 receiving yards and a touchdown. That brings us to the end of the first quarter with the score, the Pearland Oilers 2, the Dawson Eagles nothing. Stay tuned, second quarter right around the corner on the LSN Game of the Week.
Thanks for all the savings with the discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're gonna name her Abigne Apollinaria.
Steve's kid. Steve and Sandy getting it done. More people-orama.
Making savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Mr. Electric. We've got the power to make things better. And by Texas Lawn and Palm. From landscapes to hardscapes to desertscapes, we can design and install it all. Alongside Jeff Power and our entire crew, Michael Silvers. How about an arm wrestling matchup? Why can't the mascots get involved?
You gotta love it. That is classic. I've always liked the Oilers mascot there. That's just kind of old school. If you're from this area, of course, the old Houston Oilers playing in the NFL. Ed Biles right over here by us, former Houston Oilers coach there. Good to see him as well. But the Dawson Eagles fired up as well.
2-0 after the first quarter of play. After a high snap to the Dawson punter, Vance Galloway, he kicked it out of the back of the end zone. That's our only scoring through the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, and that 2 points could loom large.
So it's 3rd down and 1 as we begin the second quarter. Blumrick alone in the backfield out of the shotgun. Design keeper, he's got the first down as he forces his way over the 45 and takes it out to the 46-yard line.
Great call right there by Jake Blumrick. Don't risk any chance of a fumble or anything like that. Just take that direct snap and pick up that first down. Pearland has run the ball well so far, and that's what they need to keep doing. If I'm the Oilers, keep running the football.
At 85 yards on the ground coming in. 3 rushing touchdowns for the senior quarterback, and on 1st down and 10, a play fake. Blumrick will throw it deep. He's got Diaz through his hands. Michael Mitchell, junior cornerback, on the coverage.
Well, there you go. I mean, because we're up here talking about how well they're running it, little play action always works well coming out of that run game when you're running the ball well. And he had Diaz open downfield. Diaz had to wait up, though. See that split second where he waited up? Couldn't come down with the ball.
2nd down and 10. The Oilers will scrimmage from their own 47-yard line, leading 2-0. Quick pass. Complete. And in on the coverage, or in on the completion, and the reception was Daniel Petty.
Oilers advancing out.
Yeah, Petty only a sophomore as he's coming off the field now. Another key 3rd down situation here for Pearland. Seems like they've had quite a few 3rd downs here from the first quarter. Now we adjust into the second quarter, and Dawson's done a pretty good job of keeping them in check on 3rd down. Can they do it again?
Gain of 7 on the pass play. 3rd down and a long 3 on the ground to Butler. Butler makes one man miss, takes a big hit coming in to make that tackle. It was Trevante Moody, at least on the hit. He was being held up by another Eagle defender, but he takes it down to the 41 and gets a Pearland 1st down.
Hey, that was all Butler right there. Check it out. He picks up the 1st down because of this extra move right here, coming off that tackle, and he spins off it and picks up that extra yard he needed for the 1st down.
11 rushes, 63 yards already for Jacoby Butler, the commit to the University of Texas, San Antonio. From the shotgun, this time getting blown up in the backfield, Chase Foster. Jordan Rodriguez, junior defensive end, forces him for a loss of 3.
That's the 2nd time tonight we've seen Jordan Rodriguez make a big play like that. Just keying on that running back, steps up, makes a huge play for his defense.
9th play of the drive coming up.
To the Dawson 44.
It'll be 2nd down and 14 from the Dawson 44. 5 receivers in the lineup. Nobody in the backfield to protect Blumrick. He fires to the right side. It is complete to Jacoby Butler, his first reception of the night, down to the 36-yard line, a reception of 8 yards.
So Butler getting a big chart of that, good chunk of that yardage back right there. And this is a very manageable 3rd and 5.
And so far, the Oilers 4 of 6 in 3rd down efficiency. Clock inside 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The Oilers are driving with a 3rd down and 5. Blumrick slings it up the sideline, incomplete. Trying to locate Butler again. Good coverage on the play by outside linebacker Kevin Lambert. And it is 4th down.
Well, and so for the 3rd time, a drive is going to end for Pearland here on a pass play that just didn't quite work out. 4 of 7 now, and those 3 stops for Dawson have been key, but Pearland might go for it here on 4th down, and about 5 needed.
Needing the 31-yard line on 4th down and 5. Blumrick throws, and that's incomplete. Contact, but no flag. Coverage by Trevante Moody. Diaz, the intended receiver. And a turnover on downs. The Eagles will get it back on offense.
Well, everybody on this side of the field was right there with Ryan Diaz, thinking that that should have been pass interference. There was a bump right before the ball got into that area. But I've always said this, Michael, it's kind of hard to throw that yellow flag on 4th down in some occasions. I mean, you got 2 guys going up for the ball right at the exact same time. Sometimes the officials are going to hold on to that on a 4th down play.
Handoff, Winnigan. Flag is down. Winnigan stays on his feet.
Vince Galloway.
And slung down to the field by Ronnie Fraser.
Winnigan.
But we'll check the marker with referee Rocky Marcinelli. A chop block on the Eagles. That's a killer.
See the Oilers crowd here liking that call. And if you're Dawson right now, you might be trailing 2-0, but their defense has bent, but they've been able to make some key stops on 3rd down, 3 specifically. They've kept them out of the end zone, and kept them, well, out of a field goal too, for that matter, as it hit the crossbar earlier. But they need to produce a drive right here. Dawson needs to get some positive yardage going offensively.
1st down and 25. Galloway. And wide open. What a play fake. Down into Oiler territory, Braylon Newton. And then he lost the football on the fumble, but it is recovered by the Eagles.
Well, that's one way to get it done right there.
60 yards on the pass play. The fumble, the Eagles recover. 1st down and 10 at the 25 in Oiler territory.
I tell you what, Michael, we've probably broadcasted about 10 games so far this year. I have yet to see a receiver that wide open. Look at that. No one within 10 to 15 yards of him, and he sprints all the way downfield. But you've got to put that ball away, and you can't hold on to it like a loaf of bread as that little chop comes in and takes that ball out of his hands. He's fortunate that his buddy was right there to pick it up.
That's Winnigan on the recovery. Stands are shaking here at the rig. Keeper for Galloway off the zone read down to the 14-yard line, gaining 6 on the play.
Number 14.
Well, that was a big momentum play, the big pass play, and now Dawson trying to take advantage of it. I like that call right there with Vance Galloway. Nice little fake, picks up some decent yardage on 1st down. 2nd and 3. That's a good offensive coordinator situation right there. A lot to choose from.
Savion Johnson checks in. It's a shotgun with split backs. Now Johnson will line up right in front of Winnigan. Galloway on the shotgun snap. Under pressure, flag is thrown, and down goes Galloway back at the 19.
Oiler defense wrapping up number 14, Vance Galloway.
While we wait on the call, we were talking about the Dawson offensive coordinator, Ryan Silvertooth. He was actually a tight end that played at Lamarck and played for Eric Wells over there, so kind of a cool situation. Getting to know your players pretty well.
Injury timeout on the field.
An injured Eagle on the field. Plus they got to sort out the penalty situation. 8:15 the time. Here in the 2nd quarter, it's 2-0 Pearland.
You know, last season, Pearland made it to the state championship game, and that was just such a monumental moment for the school. They've been getting to the state championship quite a few times. Did have the one win over Euless Trinity, but to get to Jerry World, if you will, last year in Class 5A, I think that surprised a lot of people. Wouldn't you say, Michael? Not only surprising the folks that they reached it, but
and really, when you were talking with Tony Heath on Wednesday during our conference call, he said, and everybody believed it because everybody was saying it, nobody thought Pearland would even get past Katy back in 2010 in the Region 3 championship, much less even beat Trinity when they got to AT&T Stadium.
Well, you might remember that was the largest crowd to ever watch a high school football game here in the state of Texas, and for the country for that matter. Pearland came out right away, scored the touchdown to get things started. And that game, the 1st quarter was incredible. Right when Allen was getting ready to make a big play, this was one of the key plays early on as Pearland's defense was able to turn it into some big yardage going the other way. And, you know, they were right there with them, tooth for tooth, nail for nail, till about, I'd say about that 2nd half, and that's kind of when Allen started pulling away. You know, that Allen, they've got about, 5,000 students over there? Yep. They got a lot to choose from.
Not a lot of people out there last year. Not a lot of teams were going to beat Allen, and they finished wire-to-wire 16-0. and a 63-28 win in the state championship game. Penalty was declined. It is 3rd down and 8 for Dawson. Line of scrimmage, the Oiler 18. From the pistol, Galloway on the play action. Under pressure as the pocket collapses, and he is taken down from behind by Deontay Givens at the 20-yard line. Ball seems to have squirted loose according to the Pearland sideline, but if it did, the Eagles have recovered. It's 4th down.
I thought we were going to get maybe a little horse collar call here at the end of this play. But you see Galloway here looking downfield. That's such a threat to have a mobile quarterback who can then pass it. But look, right there, I mean, that was about as close as you can get to a horse collar without the call.
There was a fumble, Jeff, and Chris DeSantiago was there on the recovery as Dawson looked to take the lead. 37-yard field goal attempt by Tyler Day. Head coach Eric Wells says Day has 50-yard range. We'll see what he has against the wind. Kick is on the way, but it is good. It just tucked in to that right upright, and the Dawson Eagles have a 3-2 lead with 7:10 remaining until halftime. This is the LSN Game of the Week.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
37-yard field goal by Day. A drive of 5 plays, 44 yards, 2 minutes, 24 seconds the time of the drive, and with 7:10 remaining in the second quarter, the Eagles have a 3-2 lead. What is this baseball score all about?
Hey, it is baseball playoff time. Hey, you know what? That was a 37-yard kick, and let me tell you, he needed every single inch.
He sure did.
37 yards.
I thought it was headed wide right. It just tucked into that right upright.
We talk about a game of inches. I mean, earlier, Pearland going into that same goalpost, and they hit the crossbar and it goes the other way. This one cleared it by just a couple of inches.
High pooch kick, and a fair catch called for and made by Lechuza. 7:10 remaining until halftime. And so far, everything you wanted in a rivalry game or the beginning of a rivalry game, even though the coaches are downplaying it, it's not a rivalry game. This has the feel of a rivalry game. And what's funny is that even when Dawson started as a 4A school and Pearland were a 5A school, flag is down, by the way, and we'll get the call from Rocky Marcinelli, which is going to be on Pearland. They said that school administration didn't want to play the game. They just did not want to cause what might have been a perceived divide between the two. But the UIL sort of forced their hand because they moved Dawson up to 6A as Pearland and the nomenclature of everything moved from 5A to 6A and stuck them in the same district, 22-6A.
And Dawson, one of those schools, they're kind of one of the lower enrollments in Class 6A, and they're going up against the big boys, if you will, in Class 6A. And, hey, right down the street, Pearland's got almost, about 1,000 students more? But no question, you know, the coaches kind of downplayed it a little bit earlier in the week, but you pull up and you see every local television station's out doing live shots. You know, you've got national coverage here. It's the DQ big game of the week. I mean, everyone's talking about it. So, I mean, you can't help but feed right into the hype.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call on Pearland drives them back to start this possession from their own 14-yard line. Butler in the backfield. He's behind Jake Glumrick on 1st down and 10. The give is to Butler. Butler breaks a tackle. And Butler flung out of bounds by Brandon Guzman.
Hand off to number 2, Jacoby Butler.
Mark him out of bounds at the 19-yard line, a gain of 5.
You know, one thing that Tony Heath was telling us, the Pearland head coach, he said that his team needs to be able to ride the highs and lows. He's been in these big games before. He says there's a lot of momentum swings. You can't get too amped up when things are going great, nor can you get too down when they aren't going in your favor.
Butler came in with over 600 yards rushing and a dozen touchdowns, averaging 9.2 yards per carry this season. Timeout taken. Dawson elects to call their second timeout.
Dawson.
One thing I've noticed with these timeouts, these trainers, they get the water out to the officials and the players about as quick as I've ever seen. It's a full-blown sprint out to the middle of the field.
And this is early October, so temperature at game time was 83 degrees. It wasn't 100 like when the season started in late August and throughout September. So this is actually very cool and comfortable by the standards so far of the weeks preceding this Week 6 matchup in District 22-6A.
Yeah, a little front blowing through. Most of the state, especially up north, got a lot of rain, but not so much down in the southern part of the state. But I tell you, one thing I've kind of noticed is that we have some gusts a time or two, 10 to maybe even 15 miles per hour, but then all of a sudden there's no wind. So that's hard to judge if you're a quarterback, if you're a field goal kicker. You don't know when the wind's going to pick up.
It's a Dawson defense allowing opponents 260.4 yards per game this season. They gave up over 500 yards to Magnolia West in Week 2 in a 61-50 victory. Since that time, in wins over Alvin, Sam Rayburn, and Pasadena Memorial, albeit some lesser talented teams, they've been able to shut the door quite well.
Yeah, and I've actually been pretty impressed with Dawson's defense here in the early going. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to stop Pearland, especially on the ground. And although they would probably tell you they haven't done as good of a job as they would like, the point is they're winning 3-2, and we're getting close to halftime.
Second down and 6 as we resume. Ball on the 18. But not going to get much. Just musters the 20-yard line, picking up 2 more.
Both teams trying to remain balanced. Pearland starts with the run, and then that opens up the passing game, but they've kind of stalled out their last couple of drives.
And they said, Tony Heath said that he thinks that this 2014 Oiler team is about as balanced as the 2010 state championship team was. Third down and 4. Blumrick on the rollout. Fires on the run, and it's complete for a first down at the 34-yard line. Jonathan Sam corrals that one for 14 yards and an Oilers first down.
Let's take a look at this play one more time. Blumrick rolling out, bought himself some time. Great pass right there. Good velocity on that ball, picking up the first down.
5th third down conversion of the first half as Jonathan Sam calls in his 8th catch of the year. Now with 150 yards receiving and a pair of touchdowns. Caught a 32-yard touchdown last week against South Houston. Blumrick on the keeper, great play fake. He slides at the 43-yard line, picking up 9.
A lot of good quarterbacks have played here at Pearland. Even Tony's son last year, Connor Heath, getting a chance to help out on that big playoff push. Got a chance to play over at Jerry World in that state championship game.
After the gain of 8, it's second down and 2. And on the ground, it's Butler. Butler down the sideline. And out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 26 yards as he is angled out by Trevante Moody.
So elusive. I mean, he runs behind a huge line. It's almost unfair, but then when he gets into the open field, he really shows you that speed. Nice cutback ability, breaks to the outside. Watch as he kind of slams on the brakes right here.
No, he didn't want to take that hit either.
No. The out of bounds is a little more friendly.
3-2 Dawson, 5:46 left to play in the second quarter. Oilers are driving, but they elect to take their second timeout here in the first half. We'll step aside. 3-2 Dawson.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an egg white delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
That's good.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Texas Lawn and Palm. From landscapes to hardscapes to desertscapes, we can design and install it all. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. First down and 10 for the Oilers. They trail 3-2. They will scrimmage from the 32 in Dawson territory. Trips receivers to the bottom of your screen. Blumrick throws. Complete. Cody Williams, but he's hit immediately on the play by James Rhodes. Backup cornerback, no gain on the pass play.
Nicely done by James Rhodes. Read that play perfectly and stepped up and made a big play. You know, these two teams, speaking of scrimmage, they actually were supposed to play in a scrimmage last year, but lightning got involved and they couldn't play the game. So they've been talking about it for a little while now.
So even an act of God prevented them to play, but not the UIL.
Getting ready for this monumental moment tonight.
On second down, Blumrick under pressure. Flag thrown, pass complete. Diaz out of bounds at the 22, but the flag is thrown, penalty marker down, back at the Dawson 37-yard line. Coming back on a hold. Fifth penalty of the first half called on Tony Heath's Oilers.
Yeah, you see Tony there. You know, Tony actually ran the Veer offense when he was in high school, played quarterback, as you mentioned earlier, Michael, and that's why he likes to run the football so much. But they do a nice job of mixing in the pass this season. But those penalties will hurt you. That puts you in a passing situation. When the defense knows you're going to pass, usually bad things happen. Looks like a personnel confusion here for Pearland.
They have one timeout remaining. So do Dawson.
14 seconds on the play clock.
Clock moving. On second down and 20. Blumrick fires underneath. It is complete to Williams. He will get a first down across the 20. Stay on his feet. Tippy-toe out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out. That's about a 15-yard line. Give him 27 on the hook up on the catch and run. First down, Oilers.
You got to like what you see in Cody Williams. He's a big, strong receiver. Has made a couple of huge plays in the game so far. He was kind of dancing down those sidelines, and he was able to stay in bounds for the most part, but they rule him out at the 15-yard line. Let's see where that, I think it was that left foot kind of slipped outside right there. There you go.
Back on the ground, Butler. Jacoby Butler. And he's going to be strung out at the 10-yard line. Guzman again in on the play defensively. Well, he's been everywhere.
And at times, Dawson has done a pretty good job of stringing those plays out. And that's the key. Pearland has a lot of speed. They're getting the push up front. But Dawson's done a pretty nice job of containing those plays.
Butler now with exactly 100 yards rushing here in the first half on 15 carries. Second down and 6 from the Eagle 11. Timeout taken. Pearland called their final timeout. Want to discuss this second down and 6 play, and Tony Heath is not too happy about having to take his final timeout.
Well, it's such a huge play call here. They want to come away with more than just a field goal. They're trying to set themselves up for a touchdown here. They've been knocking on the door a few times. Need to kind of finish off the drive here. He talked about needing to be able to finish, sustain those drives. You get down here in the red zone, it's not as easy to run the football, not as easy to pass it. You got to be a little more creative.
When you talk about the District 22 6A landscape and the regional playoffs, when they begin to start taking shape as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season, Pearland obviously a Division I school, but also in this district, and a team that'll be contending for the district championship and will likely be a Division II candidate in the playoffs, the Manville Mavericks.
Yeah, Manville has looked so good so far here in the early going of the season. The way they beat up on some teams earlier in the year, I believe it was Spring Westfield and then North Shore as well. I mean, I think most people around here were really impressed with the way Manville got off to such a great start, and they're still churning. I mean, so think about that when you look at this district right away. Manville, Pearland, Dawson. That's the top three.
Dawson get the Mavericks next week.
Ooh.
Pearland get Manville to close out the season.
That's almost unfair, huh?
Second down and 6 from the 11. Blumrick has to reverse his field, spin off of one tackler, take it down to the 10. 1 more yard on the gain, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Blumrick with the keeper.
Yeah, Blumrick was thinking about going left here, but there was a lot of traffic that way, so he broke it back to the right. And he did the smart thing. He got his head down quicker. Well, maybe not as quick as he would have liked. He still took a shot, but when you know that they're closing in on you, get down. Hate to see those shots on the helmet.
3rd down and 5. They need to get to the 5. Diaz, fake the end around. Diaz turns the corner and he scores. Touchdown, Pearland.
He's a playmaker, and that's a play right there that they had to have. And they finally connect on a big 3rd down deep in the red zone for their first touchdown of the night. The powder in the air, the Oilers fans cheering. And Diaz has had a great first half, no question about that.
Oilers will keep the offense on the field, attempt a 2-point conversion, which would give them a touchdown and an extra point lead at the 3:51 mark here in the second quarter.
Yeah, can't do much with that 9-3 lead, but 10-3 lead, it's a big difference, that extra point. That's why they're going for 2.
From the shotgun with Butler to the right of Blumrick. Blumrick throws. Complete, Butler, but well short. He went nowhere after making that reception, and again, it was Brandon Guzman defensively for the Eagles making the stop.
Butler almost looked stunned when he turned around and a man was on him so quickly. But as we see the touchdown again, nice little fake. And hey, that's all Diaz right there. I mean, that eluding that tackle was huge. He's made some big plays downfield as a receiver, now takes one in for a touchdown via the ground. It's a big time play right there. And Ryan Diaz is a senior. Look at the crowd. I mean, take this in for a moment, folks. We got 9,000 people here for a regular season game.
At least.
Yeah, it may be more like 10,000. I mean, the bands are starting to filter down towards the field, getting ready for halftime. But the crowd, they're into it. Got the whiteout on the other side with the Dawson fans.
Let's recap that scoring drive. 11-play, 86-yard drive, 10-yard touchdown run by Ryan Diaz. Time of the drive, 3 minutes, 29 seconds. 2-point conversion missed. 8-3 is your score. Pearland have the lead. And we'll give the ball back to Dawson with time on the clock.
Well, if you're Dawson, 3:51, that's something that they can manage. They've got a quick play offense. You want about 4 minutes on the clock because you don't want to give the ball back to Pearland. So if you're Dawson, this is an opportunity to try to take some momentum into halftime and maybe regain the lead.
Johnson and Winnigan back deep to receive. Whether or not they'll get a chance is another thing. They're going to get a chance. It'll be Winnigan from the 9. Winnigan turns the corner out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And the Dawson fans didn't realize he had stepped out. They thought he had just made the cut of a lifetime.
Forced out of bounds by Jerry Hudson.
Nice move by Winnigan. Winnigan stepping out of bounds near the 20.
Winnigan, such a big part of this Dawson offense last year. You mentioned earlier over 2,000 yards rushing, but only the 3rd leading rusher this year. And part of that is because they've got a running quarterback who can who's picking up those extra yards. But look at Winnigan here. Let's see if he stepped out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 3 times. Great job, Kevin Schaefer, down there on the field with our camera.
First down and 10. The Eagles will start from their own 26-yard line. Galloway hands it off to Johnson. Not much after he turns it upfield, reaches the 29-yard line.
Keep an eye on this clock situation, too. 3:33 and counting. If you're Dawson, you don't really worry about the clock until it gets inside of maybe 2:30. But your key right now is you've got to try to pick up a first down.
Second down and 7 after the tackle made by Ronnie Frazier, senior defensive tackle for the Oilers. Now it's Winnigan. Cuts it upfield, will get a first down, or very close to it at the 39-yard line.
That's going to be tight. They may have to measure this. It is very close, and that'll stop the clock.
My apologies, the 36-yard line. Looks like he's short, though, just short of the first down marker.
Yeah, they're not going to measure. If I'm Eric Wells, I asked him to measure it just to stop the clock and give yourself some extra time to think about the next play inside a 250.
And the Eagles haven't run a lot of plays. I mean, they're barely even at 20 plays offensively, and now they start early. Well, that changes the dynamic. You go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6. Pearland can't stop the clock. If the clock continues to run, they're out of timeouts. And that's the 4th penalty of the first half called on Dawson.
Yeah, Eric Wells just livid right there. That was a ill-afforded time there to have a motion penalty.
So Galloway and the Eagles will set up on the 31-yard line for 3rd down and 6, trailing 8-3.
And the risk with throwing the ball is the clock would stop if you don't complete it.
Trips receivers at the top of your screen. Shotgun snap to Galloway. Runs to his left, has an open field, and he has a first down.
What a weapon.
Taken down out at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the run. He ran about 50, but he gets the first on the 3rd down conversion.
I mean, you think about where the NFL is going now with their quarterbacks, more and more mobile quarterbacks. I mean, you see it at all the levels. And I think there's 12 quarterbacks in the NFL from Texas.
1st and 10. Galloway, plenty of time. Dumps it underneath to Caleb White. White stays in bounds. Reaches the 44-yard line. 6 yards on the completion.
I mean, he just completely changes the dynamic. I mean, you think he's going to throw. He picks up the first down, and he just gives those linebackers one more thing to think about. Again, the clock is running, though. Minute 43 and counting. They're going to have to get across midfield here.
Galloway 5 of 8 for 114 yards. A pump fake on 2nd down. He'll have to tuck and run. This side of the field, he is hammered out of bounds, short of the first down.
But he did stop the clock.
Big Chase Kiesler.
Pressure applied by the Oilers, including number 17.
You know, I think there was a time in football when you didn't have the mobile quarterback. You just didn't have that kind of ability to just completely change a play from a pass to a run. And that's what you're seeing now in football. But he didn't pick up the first down, so it's going to be 3rd and a little over a yard, maybe 2.
Dawson 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions here in the first half. 1:33 the time left in the 2nd quarter. Dawson trailed by 5. 3rd down and about a short 2. Galloway throws against his body. Throws complete at the 35 in Pearland territory as he's able to locate number 12, Braylon Mooten.
That's a big-time play right there by Galloway. Bought himself some time, faked the handoff, rolled out to the right. Look at that arm. That's some strength right there, Michael. He gunned that ball in there.
Another 3rd down conversion. 80 yards on 3 receptions for Mooten.
This one's coming back. Legal procedure.
Dawson killing themselves with penalties. Both teams highly penalized so far in the first half. We'll have all the totals for you at halftime.
Illegal motion is going to move the Eagles back to the
2 offsides, 2 false starts, and a chop block.
Yeah, that's tough. That's hard to overcome.
First down at 15, and Galloway will throw. Going through his progressions. Pocket collapses. He scrambles. Galloway now underneath, complete again. And once again, he finds Mooten.
He didn't get out of bounds, though.
Down inside the 30 to the 28 for a 12-yard completion. Another Dawson first down.
They'll move the chains, and now a timeout's being called, it looks like.
There is no doubt that Mooten is the favorite target of Vance Galloway.
I thought Pearland might have been held up right there at the line, but look at Galloway. Kind of buys himself some time. I mean, you know what I'm seeing, Michael, is the linebackers for Pearland are going to be exhausted going into halftime. I mean, they're having to contain receivers going out. They're having to watch Vance and what he's doing as a quarterback and keep an eye on the running backs coming out. I mean, they're getting a workout, and the defensive backs too. On top of that, that's what a mobile quarterback will bring for you.
Bowden came into this game the team leader in receiving with 259 yards, a pair of touchdowns on 14 catches. Last week he caught 3 balls for 94 yards and a 64-yard touchdown. Just a junior for Eric Wells and the Dawson Eagles. And so far in this first half, 4 receptions, 92 yards.
43 seconds to play. It's going to be tougher trying to move the ball as they're now placed on the 28-yard line.
Last week was any indication that last offensive series by the LaPorte Bulldogs in their come-from-behind victory over their rivals, the Deer Park Deer, 10-6 was the final. They scored with 12 seconds remaining. They did not have a timeout late in that series, but they managed to clock well. We'll see what Dawson does here. 45 seconds to go. Galloway under center on 2nd down and 3. Players in motion. And a play fake. Galloway forced to run. Now delivers. That one dropped.
You know, I was just kind of thinking about the chess match going on.
Mooten on the, was the intended target.
I mean, both of these coaches, Eric Wells, Tony Heath, they know each other well. And that was a great call. I love the call there. You're totally thinking they're going to run it. And then Galloway breaks out and starts looking downfield for a pass. And, you know, he's got that ability to run it too. A lot going on that play.
Just about wrapped up by Dylan Roach before he unleashed that one. 3rd down and 3. Winnigan on the handoff is stretched out and tackled for a loss back at the 34-yard line. Big tackle by Cordell Caldwell.
Caldwell stepping up big. That was a sure tackle too. He wanted to make sure that there was going to be a loss, take him out of field goal range. They're going to go for it here on 4th down, looks like.
On 4th down, Galloway over the middle, it's caught.
Wow.
Mooten breaks a tackle. Take it down inside the 10. The Eagles have no more timeouts. They'll have to set the chains and spike it.
3. They need to do something quickly.
And they spike it. 1 second remaining in the first half.
Wow. What a big play there. I mean, the question is now, do you kick the field goal or do you go for it? Try to get a little touchdown here. I mean, you're down 8-3, 5 points.
1 second left on the clock.
But you put yourself in position to be only trailing by 2 if you make it.
To convert the 4th down. 2nd down and goal. Final play of the first half. And they're going to go for a 26-yard field goal. Day hit the crossbar, his first attempt. Plenty of leg. It is good. And we go to the break with the score, the Pearland Oilers 8, the Dawson Eagles 6. Halftime coming up. This is the LSN Game of the Week.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah. But it's in the car.
That's good.
Well, there's your score. After 24 minutes, the Pearland Oilers 8 and the Dawson Eagles 6. First annual Dawson Pearland Bowl, and it's been a very exciting 24 minutes. 8-6 after the half.
Like a baseball score, isn't it? We had 3-2, now 8-6. Defense have made the stands when they've had to, some key third down situations, but I like the running game from Pearland. What they've been able to do on the ground has been key, led by Jacoby Butler, 15 carries, 100 yards, and they have 125 yards rushing as a team, and I think that's been one of the keys for them. If they can continue on that ground game, that'll set up the pass for Pearland.
Dawson surrendered to safety to open up the scoring, then took a lead 3-2 on a field goal by Day. Pearland got on the board. Ryan Diaz, a 10-yard touchdown, the only touchdown of the first half, and then a late field goal by Day gave us our 8-6 score at the break. And right now, let's take a look at the first half numbers. And Jeff, you can take a look. A lot of things even in terms of the total yardage, but look at the disparity in the passing yardage.
Yeah, that's all Vance Galloway right there from Dawson. He has been delivering some bullets out there, some great passes, 168 yards to just 59 for Pearland. But the rushing totals there for Pearland, 125 to 23. So depends on how you want to play. Do you want to run it or do you want to pass it? We've seen both styles, and really the third down efficiency is also pretty key. Pearland 6 of 9, Dawson 3 of 5. So it's been a very evenly matched game, and that's why the score is 8-6.
Total combined penalty yardage of 90 on 10 penalties by both schools.
Ouch.
And Dawson gets the ball to start the second half. What do you like to see them do to open up and set the tone here in the third quarter?
Well, they've passed the ball well. They need to be able to establish the run again. They haven't had as much luck on the ground. As you see there, the rushing total is just 23 yards rushing. But if you're Dawson, an ability to finish the drives, and that comes from running the football. If you can run the football, you can finish the drives. Pearland has driven down the field better by running it, but they've kind of stalled once they've gotten into the red zone. I did like the one call, though, on the fake reverse as they scored the touchdown. Hey, whatever it takes, you got to be creative if you're the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator for that, Mac. And both these coaches, they know each other well. They know the tendencies, so maybe you lean on your coordinators a little bit more.
I think when you talk about the landscape of District 22-6A, the foregone conclusions to reach the playoffs are these two teams and the Manville Mavericks. The fourth spot right now would be currently held by South Houston had the playoffs started today. Manville comes here next week to take on Dawson, and then they come back here on November 7th to take on Pearland.
And there you go. So Manville, both of their games against the Pearland ISD schools on the road. They've got to play here at the Rig. And you see what this place looks like tonight. I would expect to see the same kind of crowds on those nights as well. And we'll get to see it firsthand next week. And then again, as you mentioned, on November 7th, big crowds expected, over 9,000 fans. And they've been pumped up all night here. In fact, it was really good to see at halftime. We had both bands and drill teams out there on the field together. It was sort of a celebration of Pearland ISD. It really was.
This game had been sold out far long before anybody tried to come get a ticket at the ticket window today here at the stadium.
Yeah, we saw the fans. I was pulling up around 2 this afternoon, maybe 3, and they were all out there having a good time, tossing the ball around. And you like to see that. The kids get out of school, and they just hung around. They decided, hey, let's go enjoy some football tonight. Texas high school football at its best right here at the Rig.
Keller gets the second half underway, and a drop kickoff, but I think Dawson were able to get it back.
And I think it goes without saying, turnovers could be key also. And both teams have done a pretty good job here of holding on to the ball in the first half, but the penalties have been a problem for both teams.
Kevin Lambert tried to scoop that one up before it hit the ground and eventually hit the ground. And they will begin from their own 31-yard line, trailing by 2. On the keeper, Galloway into the open field. Inside the 40 of Pearland. Tackled by Cordell Caldwell.
Well, Vance Galloway came into this game as the leading rusher for Dawson, almost 500 yards on the ground, and there's a good demonstration of how he can run the football. What an added element to be able to run the ball out of the pass.
Galloway fires it deep, and it's incomplete. Aiming for Drake Rayner.
Drake Rayner incomplete.
Yeah, and Drake, he had some open field there, was trying to run underneath that. That ball just kind of sailed on Galloway, I think, that throw. But right idea.
That was a 31-yard run to open up the third quarter. And on 2nd down and 10, handoff Winnigan. He will muscle it down to the 31, a gain of 6. It brings up a 3rd down and 4.
Winnigan was the leading rusher last year for Dawson. Now he's number 3 on the team. But, hey, don't underestimate him. I mean, he's a playmaker. Dawson with so much speed. That's how they overcome their size deficiencies.
3rd down, and Galloway is stopped for about a 2-yard loss. Going to bring up a 4th down as Joey Longoria, junior defensive end, corrals the quarterback for a loss on the play.
It was a great shot at Joey Longoria, like we were just kind of spot shadowing him right there. He came off his block, took that man aside, and made the big play. Great tackle on the quarterback, Galloway.
4-down territory here for Eric Wells. His offensive coordinator, Ryan Silvertooth, will try to dial up a play that'll get 6 yards on 4th down. Plenty of time for Galloway, then the protection breaks down. He scrambles. Galloway angling towards the 1st down marker, and he will not get there. Dylan Roach leads the way defensively for the Oilers. A gain of a yard and a turnover on downs. Galloway slow to get up.
Yeah, Galloway a little bit shaken up right there. He took a shot. He was trying to pick up that 6 yards on the ground. Nice job by the Pearland defense. I think that's one of the things they've got to do here in the second half. Is you want to kind of put a rover on the quarterback, a linebacker that can kind of drift off to the side and just keep an eye on him. He's probably their biggest running threat right now, coming off that 31-yard run earlier.
Oilers begin from their own 32-yard line. And motion. False start on the Oilers.
Yeah, false start, no question, on that right side.
We mentioned the penalties, 5 for 55 on Pearland, now 6 for 60. Hasn't been the best night for either school in respect to penalties. Pearland clinging to a 2-point lead early on here in the 3rd.
Rocky Marcinelli, our referee, doing a great job out here.
Begin with a handoff to Colby Butler. Straight ahead, pounds his way forward to the 33, gaining 6.
You know, usually halftime adjustments, you'll see it early in the 3rd quarter when both teams start their initial drive. What did they discuss? Are they coming out running it? Are they throwing it? You start to see some tendencies on what they think can work.
2nd down, Blumrick will throw. On the run, complete. Jonathan Sam wrapped up by Michael Mitchell out to the 38-yard line. 5 yards, brings up 3rd down, about 4.
On the stop.
A lot of talent on the field for both teams. And really, if you think about it, you go back through the years, these two teams have produced a lot of quality players playing at the next level.
3rd down and 4. The Oilers 6 of 9 on 3rd down conversions back in the first half. They'll spread them out. Blumrick with a flag down, throws on the run, and it's incomplete. If this is on Pearland with the incomplete pass, I'd reckon that the Eagles will decline it.
Yeah, holding usually happens when the quarterback rolls out of the pocket. One of the linemen might have a good block, but then they tend to lock up, trying to make sure that their defender doesn't come off. See if we can maybe pick it up here in the front. Maybe 73 right there, look like.
Willie Williams.
He's got some great size, doesn't
He's
he?
the anchor of that offensive line, the only senior of the group in the starting lineup. Adam Jewell, left tackle, a junior. Justin Lilly, a junior at left guard. Gino Cortez, the right guard, a junior. And sophomore Joseph Williams snapping the football to the quarterback tonight.
Mike Allison, the defensive coordinator for Dawson, has dialed up a good game plan. Mentioned earlier, teacher of the year a couple years ago. He's kind of a player favorite, if you will. They like his style.
2nd punt of the night for Cody Bernstein. Another beautiful kick. Fair catch is made.
Fair catch, signal by number 8.
By Drake Rayner. And that's a 28-yard punt. Good field position for the Dawson Eagles, who trail by 2 with 9:19
All right, if you
left
rode
here in the third quarter.
ISD shuttle bus here tonight, please get out your ticket. You're looking
Kind of
at
looking
the
back on,
last
we talked about the
four
keys
digits.
earlier with Dawson.
These are the winners.
Eric Wells
We
telling me
have
before the
four
game they wanted to overcome
take a look at the
Pearland's
screen.
size, also slow down Butler. Haven't really been able to do that. Butler has got over 100 yards rushing and also limit their mistakes. I mean, you think back to the safety.
Pass complete right side, then dropped instead as Mouton couldn't hold on to it. Supplied the coverage was Justice Reese, number 4 for the Oilers.
But with all that said, with it being an 8-6 game, I think Dawson feels like you know, they're right in it. They haven't played their best football, whereas Pearland's run the ball well, but they got to finish those drives.
A couple of touchdown passes last week in the win over Pasadena Memorial. 64-yarder to Mouton, a 10-yard strike to C.J. Simmons. Ball is loose, and Dawson looked like they hopped on it at the 21-yard line, dropping them back 14 yards. Unbelievable.
Scary situation there. Pearland saying, hey, wait, I have the ball.
Matt Lachusa.
I want to see this again.
Ball picked up by number 6.
And that was a new quarterback,
Exactly.
Zach
That's
Smith,
what I
the
thought.
sophomore.
TJ Williams.
Who's in on this series. You remember when Galloway tried to gallop for a first down on third, he came up a little bit gimpy.
Sure.
And now it is the sophomore Zach Smith, last week 4 of 10, 40 yards against Pasadena Memorial. Led the team in rushing last week with 110 yards on 8 carries. Had touchdown runs of 9 and 60 yards.
Well, you never know when your number's going to get called. Look at this, big change here in the second half.
On the ground, into the open field, it's Johnson. First down and more, cross midfield, and taken down at the 48-yard line.
Handoff to number 3.
30 yards on the run for
Savion
Johnson and a
Johnson.
first down.
Savion Johnson, that's a good-looking run right there, and I tell you what, that'll ease his quarterback up a little bit. Anytime you can run the football like that, see Zach Smith handing that ball off, big hole right up the middle. Look at that burst of speed as Johnson all the way out over the 50-yard line down to the 47 of Pearland.
Mark him down at the 47-yard line. 30 yards on the run, his second run of the night. Johnson 2 runs, 33 yards, had 444 yards coming in and half a dozen touchdowns. On the pitch, outside, Winnigan inside the 40 in Oiler territory, and down at the 37, a pickup of 10.
Michael, let me throw this at you. Pearland goes into halftime, and they've kind of got their defense keyed on stopping Vance Galloway. All of a sudden, Zach Smith comes in, changes dynamics a little bit. I love that little option pitch right there. He ran that well. We'll see what else Zach's got.
Second down in the yard from the 38. Quick pass and dropped. Intended target was C.J. Simmons.
Yeah, C.J. Simmons was thinking about where his next first down marker was. Got to catch the ball first.
Third down and a yard forthcoming for the Dawson Eagles as they trail by 2.
I like that call, though, on second down. We'll see if they can pick up the tough yard, though, here on third.
Both running backs in the game. Handoff. Extra effort, and I think Johnson, he may have got it, he may not have. It really just depends on the spot of the football here.
And I think we might see 4-down territory either way if it's not quite enough for a first down. They're going to measure this one, it looks like.
Savion Johnson run down by number 41, Deontay Gibbons.
Oh, it's close. They're going to measure.
No doubt a measurement.
Well, that's that drop pass hurting you right there because everyone in the stadium knows they're going to run the football right there on 3rd and 1.
Next up for Pearland, they get the Alvin Yellow Jackets a week from tonight to take another look at the run by Johnson. Alvin currently 1-1 in the district. They've already had their bye week. Dawson, regardless of what happens here tonight, will play Manville. Could be a battle of undefeated teams in the district here at the Rig next week.
Yeah, right here at the Rig. It's going to be a big game. But right now, Dawson's only worried about Pearland.
Pearland Oilers and their fans trying to get this stop on 3rd, make it 4th and short. 4th down and inches. Smith goes under center. Handoff. He's stuck at the line. The Oilers come up with a 4th down stand. Nowhere for Johnson to go.
I go back to that dropped ball on 2nd down. That was key. So when Dawson really needed to pick up that yard, they couldn't do it on back-to-back jumbo packages, if you will. So Pearland making a statement right there on defense. They've really done a nice job of plugging up the middle. Look at the surge in the middle, right in between the hash marks there. They just got all kind of line surge.
Well, Lechuza was in there pulling him backwards, but in order for him to do so, there had to be that stop on the front 4, and they got the penetration. 7 minutes to go, and the line of scrimmage set at the 38 for the Pearland Oilers, who lead by 2. Jacoby Butler is twisted down. Did they mark him down? They sure did. Back at the 37-yard line, a loss of a yard. And in on the stop was Jordan Rodriguez. Got into the backfield quickly. Not many times can you say that Butler's been twisted down for a loss on the play.
That's one of the things Dawson's needing to do here in the second half. That was one of their keys early on.
5 receivers employed on 2nd and 11. Blumrick fires, that one caught, a low pass. It is complete. Out to the 39-yard line, Diaz picks up 2 on the reception, and he is slow to get up.
And Ryan Diaz is very elusive out there. Looks like a timeout on the field here. Diaz, of course, had that touchdown earlier, and there is a player down. Let's look at this play one more time. Watch Diaz. He makes the catch. First of all, that's a tough catch, but he's got 2 guys on him. Fakes out the first one, almost fakes out the second one.
Tripped up by Vincent Fisher.
Needs a little more Vaseline on the legs there. Could have got out of that one.
So we have a timeout. 6:15 remaining. 8-6 Pearland here at the ring.
Thanks for all the savings with the discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're gonna name her Bigne Apollinaria.
Steve's kid. Steve and Sandy getting it done. More people-orama.
Making savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By your local State Farm Insurance agent, Bert Simmons. Like a good neighbor, State Farm and Bert Simmons are there. By Accent Dental Group. Be true to your teeth today, or they will be false to you tomorrow. By Pearland Driving School, preparing you for the road ahead. And by Mr. Electric. We've got the power to make things better.
The power standing right next to you.
Jeff Power, Michael Silvers on hand from a sold-out rig in Pearland, Texas. First ever meeting between the 2 high schools inside the Pearland Independent School District. Pearland with an 8-6 lead over Dawson. 6:15 to play in the 3rd quarter, and it's 3rd down and 9 for the Oilers. They'll scrimmage from their own 39. Blumrick, plenty of time, fires over the middle, and a one-handed stab at it. Falls incomplete. The intended target was Daniel Petty, number 5.
I'll tell you what, Daniel Petty getting a hand on it was big because there was 2 Pearland Dawson players right behind him. Look right behind Petty. 2 players right behind him waiting to pick that one off. So for Petty, hey, getting that hand on it was pretty big.
Pearland going against the breeze. Cody Bernstein out for punt number 3. End over and kick, and a fair catch is made at the 32-yard line.
Bernstein's punt. Fair catch signaled at the 32-yard line. And that's where the
fair catch
offense will begin their drive.
That's always a tough decision. You know, you get the teams closing in on you, but I tell you what made that easy for him to decide to do that. It was very low as he kind of had to reach down, make sure he catches it first, and that's why you want to make a fair catch there, because the most important thing is to catch the ball.
Zach Smith still in as the quarterback. Keeper for Smith. Out across the 35 to the 38, 5 yards.
If you're Dawson, that's what you want to see, because we already know that your starting quarterback, Vance Galloway, is on the sidelines. The key is you got to be able to prove to Pearland that you still got a threat running the ball out of the quarterback position. And Zach Smith, nice little run right there.
Second down and 5. On the ground, Winnigan buried at the 40-yard line. John Alexander, check that. Dylan Roach on the hit.
There's been some hits tonight, no question. Who wants to be the king of the mountain in Pearland ISD?
Third down, the third of this third quarter. 3rd and 3. Screen pass complete. Mouton to the 45. He has enough to move the chains. Hit by Lechuza.
Zach Smith's pass complete.
But not after a 5-yard pass play, a 3rd down conversion, and a Dawson first down, their 8th.
Great call by the offensive coordinator, Ryan Silvertooth. I like it. Passing the ball there. Only needed 3 yards. That extra effort got that first down.
Mouton, 6 receptions, 122 yards. First down and 10. The backup, Zach Smith, sophomore, launches one way over the head of Mouton with Petty on the coverage.
Pretty good arm right there by Zach, unloading that one downfield. Maybe got a little too excited. Wind's still kind of swirling around just a bit.
Talked with Eric Wells on Wednesday during our conference call, and he said with no fear of contradiction, this game tonight, the biggest regular season game in the history of Dawson High School.
Absolutely. I mean, you're staring across the field at your good buddy over there. It's more about Pearland ISD. It's a celebration of what high school football is all about here in Pearland.
Student section at Dawson. On 2nd down and 10. A pass incomplete after the play fake. Drake Rayner couldn't haul that one in. Probably wouldn't have gone much further after hauling that one in. The footsteps were coming from Andrew Blanchard. And now it's 3rd down and 10.
I kind of got a kick out of Tony Heath telling us earlier in the week. He said, it's just another game, guys. It's just a regular season game. Yeah, come on, Tony. We've heard that before. I mean, look around.
5 receivers in the lineup. Look at Zach Smith as he gets the shotgun snap. Tucks and runs with man coverage, angling to the first down marker. He's got it at the 44-yard line.
What an angle, too. He had to go a long way to get that first down.
11 yards.
Wow. Needed 11, ran for about 30 yards side to side, but picked up the first down. Nicely done.
Now gives him 2 yards on 3 rushes after losing a bunch of yardage in his first series.
You know, like I said earlier, Michael, you want to keep that threat back there of running the ball out of that quarterback position.
On first down, the give to Johnson. Nope. The pitch out instead. Great fake. Winnigan takes it down to the 36. It's good for 9 yards on the run.
I am digging that play right there. Brett Winnigan lines up about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. By the time he takes the pitch, he's got a full steam ahead.
Concerned look on the faces of the Pearland Oilers fans as they see the Dawson Eagles driving again. Their Oilers clinging to a 2-point lead. Handoff. Xavier Johnson shakes off a hit. It came from number 17, Zane Gonzalez. Rolls off of that, takes it down to the 28-yard line.
2 or 3 players injured on the field right now after all that. Great movement. Oh, yeah.
We have an injury timeout.
7-yard run. That is a hard piece of running, but good enough for a first down.
Everybody kind of taking a knee right now. But I tell you, some big hits right there.
Timeout. 8-6 Oilers. Late here in the 3rd.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an egg white delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my last time?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
That's good.
Now you see the injured Oiler coming off the field under his own power, Ronnie Frazier, number 86. Boy, they can't afford to have him out for very long.
No, sir. I tell you, when you deliver some blows like that, more than one will be injured.
1st and 10 and a handoff. Johnson. Johnson hit hard again. Boy, the hits are out there is indicative of a rivalry game. Down to the 26 for a run of 2 yards.
We've had some great rivalry games so far this year. Last week, of course, LaPorte and Deer Park, handing Deer Park their first loss. LaPorte scoring with 12 seconds left to win it. This one's going down the wire too. Looks like another kind of defensive struggle, just like last week.
Spread formation. Back on the ground. Johnson powers his way down to the 15-yard line with that surge. He's got another first down on an 11-yard gallop.
You know, dare I say, this has been one of the best drives Dawson has had tonight. They've been able to run the ball on the ground. Having a different quarterback in there, different look, kind of maybe has Pearland guessing a little bit.
First down and 10 from the 15 and a timeout. Officials call for a timeout as we have an Oiler on a knee on this near sideline.
Yeah, that looks like Justice Reese right there taking a knee.
Senior outside linebacker. And we're starting to see a little bit more and more of this in the second half.
See the Dawson fans there. They're white out.
Jake, excuse me, I just want to mention real quick that Ronnie Frazier has re-entered the lineup, so he had to come off for that one play. He came right back on. He's not missing the rest of this game. And we hope the same for Justice Reese.
Yeah, Reese coming out, of course, and Tony Heath was checking on him there, making sure he was okay.
And how about Zach Smith? Sophomore comes in for an injured Vance Galloway, has his team within field goal range, within an opportunity to take the lead. Winnigan on the cutback. Lowers his shoulder and takes it down inside the 10. Marked down at the 8-yard line, galloping for another 7 yards.
I tell you, Winnigan lowered the boomstick. Did you see that? Took a player about 5 yards back.
Frazier comes in to make the tackle.
Dawson inside the 10.
So now it is 2nd down and 4 from the Oiler 9. Option, pitch to Winnigan. Winnigan to the end zone, touchdown Dawson.
Very fitting that they would score on that play. That's been that key play of the drive. Picking up big yardage throughout, and Winnigan scoring on the touchdown on that deep pitch. Brett Winnigan into the end zone as Dawson is back on top.
Oh no, it's coming back with a flag. Did not see the flag on the play. And Rocky Mercinelli, our referee tonight, I think has just made enemies for life.
Well, he saw something. Or one of the officials did. Let's say holding.
Holding against the offense.
Wow, so that negates the Dawson touchdown. See if we can get a look.
Top of your screen, number 4. Yeah, it was the receiver there for Dawson. Looked like Antoine Kennedy. See if we can pick it up here on the right side of your screen. Watch the receiver. It's going to be just out of your view there. You see him kind of with the push there.
2nd down and 13. On the ground, Winnigan, and the angle is cut off. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was it. Leading away, Joey Longoria. Deontay Givens was also in the area.
Tell you what,
so now it's 3rd down and long.
If I'm Ryan Silvertooth, I go back to that play one more time. Brett Winnigan, but maybe run it on the right side this time.
3rd down.
I mean, they've run that play 3 times. It's picked up positive yardage every time. Twice some big gainers.
The line of scrimmage, the 18. 1st down marker, the 5. Smith will throw. Under duress, scrambles to his right, throws, and being hit as the ball reached him, knocking it loose. Braylon Mouton That's the helmet of the cornerman, Corey Grayson.
Got to kick the field goal here, take the lead. 4th down. You wanted that touchdown, no question, but that penalty brought it back, so you'll take the 3 points. But this is no gimme. That ball's going to be placed down around the 25-yard line, so a 35-yarder.
35-yard field goal. Tyler Day, 1 for 2 on the night, a drop snap. Day will just heave it up in the air, and it falls incomplete. And we remain at a 2-point Pearland lead at 8-6.
So Pearland dodges a bullet there. The penalty flag erases the touchdown, and then a botched snap. And the Oilers defense stands tall, keeping that 6 on the board for the Eagles. What a turn of events there. You know,
and remember the holding call negating the touchdown run. Take a look at who's taking this one in. Houston Texan J.J. Watt knows a thing or two about intercepting footballs and taking them back for touchdowns.
I tell you what, this community loves J.J. Watt. He gets out and supports high school football. Good to see.
He's been earning all the money of his new contract so far this season for the Houston Texans. Pearland begin from their own 18. Hand off to Colby Butler. And a surge out to the 23-yard line, 5 yards on the run. Number 2 for Pearland.
This must be rivalry week. You know, we've got Pearland playing Dawson, the Houston Texans playing the Dallas Cowboys, all kind of rivalries.
2nd and 5 for Pearland.
Not used to seeing that in the early first week of October.
This is the place to be in the greater Houston area. Pearland, Texas. Another run for Butler. Butler close to first down yardage.
Butler on the carry.
Hard piece of running up to the 27-yard line. Very close to the stick, and that will run out the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Going to bring up 3rd and 1 for Pearland.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score: the Pearland Oilers 8, the Dawson Eagles 6. Come on back for the final 12 minutes here on the Legacy Sports Network Game of the Week.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
Start of the 4th quarter as you see Houston Texan defensive end J.J. Watt looking on. Michael Silvers, Jeff Power. High atop the rig, our producer tonight, Scott Sullivan, director Matt Broussard, our entire LSN crew taking this one in, doing a fabulous job behind the scenes.
Yeah, these two teams have been in some big games. You know, last year, Pearland, they had to go through Lamar. A lot of people didn't expect that to happen, that big playoff game, and Pearland looked good. And, you know, and I like seeing Tony Heath coming over and talking to his son right there. That's a great moment right there. Anytime you get to see your son playing, Tony talking to Connor there. Connor was a big reason why Pearland had a lot of success last year, came in. And both those quarterbacks kind of back and forth last year had to deal with some injuries. But, you know, when it came right down to it, being able to run the football was key for Pearland and why they played Allen in the state championship game. And I tell you, it's tough to contain that man, too, for Lamar.
and keep in mind that the year before, it was Lamar representing Region 3 in the state championship game and losing to Allen.
Allen as well, yeah.
In the 2012 state championship game. And Allen has all the tools for a three-peat.
You know, we were talking about some of the great players that have played. Garrison, of course, he's at West Virginia. Trey Anderson at Pitt. Those are some of the Pearland players.
On 3rd down and 1, a design run for Blumrick.
Number 7.
Hits the waiting arms of Brandon Guzman outside of the 30-yard line, but it's good for another 3rd down conversion and a 1st down for the Oilers.
Yeah, Jake Blumrick kind of loosening up that shoulder there. Sometimes, you know, you get that shoulder kind of jammed if it's hit at this to the right angle. But if you're Pearland, you want to run the football right now. You're leading 8-6, fourth quarter, time to run it.
4 receivers in the lineup. Handoff, Foster getting a carry. Foster turns his back to the defense and gets pushed back for progress. Stopped at the 33-yard line. Foster is good for 2 yards.
You know, some would say that Pearland really hasn't been tested up to this point in the season, that they've kind of played, you know, not as tough of a non-district schedule. But they're getting all they can handle so far here by Dawson. And Dawson's played some tough competition already this year.
Losing their only game back in week 1 to George Ranch. Rolling up wins against Magnolia West, Alvin, Sam Rayburn, and Pasadena Memorial. Pass this side of the field is complete. Cody Williams catches it in front of Vincent Fisher to the 38-yard line, 5-yard pass play.
And I'll say this, you know, Pearland opened the season with College Park, and Tony Heath was telling us that's a tough thing. You got Labor Day weekend, you're trying to go up north, battle the traffic, play a football game. They went through a lot, and they said they were challenged by College Park, but they came out with a W in that one.
3rd down and 4 from the 38. Design run for Blumrick. Flag is down. Blumrick takes it for a 1st down at this stage. We don't know if it's actually going to stand at the 45-yard line. Would be for 7 yards, but Rocky Marcinelli calls a hold.
I tell you, Dawson has made, well, both teams have made their fair share of penalties. In this case, Pearland, but in some really inopportune times. I mean, you can't take a 1st down or a touchdown off the board with a penalty. It really hurts. It hurts your momentum. It hurts your play calling. I mean, now they're looking at 3rd and forever.
Pearland averaging 10 yards per penalty tonight.
14 here to go, 3rd and 14.
They'll need to reach the 41-yard line to continue this drive as we come down to 10 minutes remaining here at the rig. 8-6 Oilers. Foster off the left shoulder of Blumrick from the shotgun. Trips to the top of your screen. On the play action, Blumrick sets his feet. Waggles to his right now. Under pressure, fans urging him to throw it away, and he does.
Well, he had plenty of time to survey the field, but he was under a lot of pressure towards the end and did the smart thing by getting rid of it. Great job by the Dawson secondary.
Blumrick 9 of 17, 71 yards. Dawson forcing the Oilers to kick again. Bernstein out for punt number 4, had punts of 30, 28, and 29 yards. Mouton back deep. And we've got a penalty on Pearland. Illegal substitution.
Yeah, never good to see someone sprinting off the field that fast in the closing seconds of the play clock.
So now that drops him back to the 23-yard line. Inching a little bit closer to the midfield stripe are the returners for Dawson. Very crucial punt snap here, and a beauty from the deep snapper Adam Jewell. Fair catch at the 43-yard line.
Fair catch by number 8, Drake Rainier.
Dawson with great field position here on their own 43-yard line, courtesy of their defense and, well, penalties.
Will take the field.
34-yard punt.
For Dawson. Dawson heading northbound from the Eagle 43 with 9
Another opportunity for Dawson to take it down the field.
Left to play in the game.
Their last possession, they got bottled up, forced to kick a field goal. Bad snap, bobbled snap, what have you. Now they begin this series with Winnigan from the 43-yard line, stretched out on the play by the Pearland defense. Gets it out to the 44-yard line, 1 yard on the pickup.
Winnigan showing you that speed to the outside.
9 carries for Winnigan, 45 yards. Led the team in rushing last season. 2,290 yards and 26 touchdowns on 2nd and 9. Zach Smith in relief of the injured Vance Galloway fires down the sideline. It is complete. Caleb White on the receiving end. He's back into Pearland territory at the 37-yard line.
First of all, nice effort by Zach Smith, buying some time. You saw at the corner, Caleb White signaling to him, hey, I'm wide open, hit me. Great pass right there, great awareness. Good job by Caleb letting him know, hey, I'm open, get it to me right now.
On the ground, Johnson. Nope, play fake. And a pass out to the flats. Intended for number 6, Tajay Williams. Boy, did he get a helmet right in his breadbasket by Andrew Blanchard.
Yeah, Tajay Williams a little shaken up there. It looks to be okay.
Smith, just 2 of 7 in relief of Vance Galloway for 19 yards, but he's been put out there to try to produce a comeback victory. 8:53 remaining here at the ring. On the handoff, Johnson makes a cut, takes it down inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. 17 hard rushing yards for junior Savion Johnson.
Savion Johnson, I like the fact that they were running to the wide side, the near side of the field here, a little more space. Savion cutting back, dragged a couple of Pearland Oilers with him, kept those feet moving.
Justice Reese, injured earlier, saving a potential touchdown. Give it back to Johnson on first down. He meets a wall of Oilers and takes it down. A run of 3 yards to the 17.
I've been impressed with these last 2 drives from Dawson. Mixing things up, running the football pretty well. And let's keep in mind, all this without their starting quarterback, Vance Galloway, who's on the bench, shaking up.
74 hard yards for Savion Johnson on 9 rushes. Second down and 7. Back to Johnson as he picks his way down inside the 15.
Johnson on the carry.
To the 14-yard line, another 3 yards. It's third down for the Eagles.
Helping out with the stop, number 47.
Well, they're trailing 8-6. Definitely want to come away with a field goal. You don't want to make any mistakes here in the red zone, but no question they're trying to get a touchdown here. But 3rd and 4, you want to make sure also you're in position for a field goal, because that would be for the lead. And I tell you, the way Dawson's defense has been playing lately, get the lead first.
3rd down and 4 from the 14 in Pearland territory. Winnigan, the running back. Handoff to Winnigan. And he will peel down to the 10. I don't know if he got it.
Looks like he's going to be marked on the 11, so that's going to be short. Decision time, field goal. Here comes the field goal unit for Eric Wells. Look at the run right here. A nice little cutback right there from Winnigan, but just couldn't quite pick up that extra yard. Nice job by the Pearland defense.
Field goal unit.
Not so sure.
Will stay on the sideline. 4th down and a yard. Smith. And the Eagles start early. Derry Ruth, the tight end. Haven't called his name at all tonight. The offensive line was barely set. And there it is. And now that should force the field goal unit to have to come out and try to tack on 3.
Yeah, got to go for the field goal here. Well, think about this, Michael. Touchdown taken off the board because of a penalty. Here they go for it on 4th down. Penalty, got to move back again.
Tyler Day. Field goal unit 1 for 3 tonight. This is a 33-yard attempt to give Dawson the lead. And it's blocked! Special teams come up huge for the Pearland Oilers, and they maintain an 8-6 lead.
So Dawson has come up empty on the last 2 drives, both times trying to kick a field goal. A botched snap the first time, this time a blocked kick. Wow.
8-6, Pearland maintain the lead.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
While we were away, pass to the near side, in and out of the hands of Ryan Diaz. He was hit as the ball reached him by the corner man Vincent Fisher. So the incomplete pass Makes it 2nd down and 10 for the Oilers after the blocked field goal. They have it on their own 20-yard line. Blumrick going through his progressions, forced to tuck and run. Blumrick across the 25 has a first down at the 32-yard line, tackled by Brandon Guzman.
Well, your defense for Pearland has bent. They haven't broken. Keeping that 8-6 lead, and now it's time for the Oilers offense to go to work here, and picking up a first down on the ground is exactly what they were looking for as we're banging on 6 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter.
12 first downs picked up by the Oiler offense. A trips package of receivers at the top of your screen. Pump fake. Again, everybody well covered. Blumrick throws up the sideline, incomplete. Oilers want a flag for contact. Cody Williams has his hands in the air. The pass falls incomplete, stopping the clock with 5:48 remaining. It was Fisher on the coverage again for the Dawson defense.
Look at the offensive line doing a nice job there. That's one of those, that's a tough, I don't blame the official for not throwing a flag right there. I mean, you got guys trying to fight for the ball. There is some contact though, you know.
It's been 8-6 since halftime. A safety for Pearland, 2 field goals for Dawson, and a touchdown for Pearland. On the run, Chase Foster. Boy, a lot of contact between him and Kevin Lambert. Foster takes it across the 35 to the 37. Hard piece of running for 5 yards. 3rd down.
Pearland going to play Alvin next week, but I tell you, Dawson, they're going to be feeling those little bruises this week, and they've got a tough matchup next week against Manville.
From the 37, 3rd down and 5. Cody Williams, the only receiver to the bottom of your screen. They need the 42-yard line, do the Oilers. Quick pass, Williams, that one almost picked off. Jumping the route was Fisher. 4th down, and again, this Dawson Eagle defense hold, giving another opportunity for the offense. They'll force the Oilers to kick it again.
Kind of the unsung heroes. Great effort right there. Fisher fishing for an interception, couldn't quite come up with it, but did the smart thing and knocked that ball away. If you can't pick it off, make sure the receiver doesn't catch it.
Rayner and Mouton back deep to receive. They each stand at the 26-yard line. Good snap back, and Bernstein. High spiraling kick. Bounces inside the 30, rolls down to the 20-yard line.
Bernstein's punt will take an Oiler roll out here.
43-yard punt, the best of the night for Cody Bernstein. And the Dawson Eagles will have to start from their own 20-yard line. 4:52 remaining on the 4th quarter clock. So you see the Pearland sideline.
Notice one of the assistant coaches there counting the players on the field. You don't want any kind of mistakes right now. It's inexcusable.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for Dawson from the Eagles 20.
Smith begins with a handoff to Winnigan.
Winnigan on the carry.
It's been tough running up the middle against Pearland. The Oilers with a huge defensive line, just like their offensive line. They're big.
52 yards on 11 rushes for Winnigan. Quick no huddle, 2nd down and 7. Smith throws, that one almost intercepted, it should have been. Cordell Caldwell wants to have that one back.
I'll tell you, it's a game where you've got to make plays in certain situations. Let's see here. Caldwell stepped in front of the receiver. That ball was going to get hit him right around the chin. You can't ask for anything more than that. That ball was thrown right to him.
On 3rd down and 7, Smith fires, complete for a 1st down to the 33-yard line. C.J. Simmons.
Number 11, C.J. Simmons.
Big play right there by Simmons, making the catch. Perfect route, picked up the 1st down.
1st down 10 for Dawson.
First catch since the first half for Simmons. And Smith will throw it again. He's under pressure, flag throws, he just throws it up in the air. It's going to be incomplete as it does eventually go out of the playing field, but more flags down. And again, when you have to improvise, the likely call will be holding. Or this time it's a chop block. That's the second one.
Chop block against the offense.
Oh, that one. That has to be frustrating if you're Eric Wells.
Yeah, Zach Smith buying some time. There was the chop right there. I just saw it on the line. And then Smith just kind of threw that ball in the air. You don't want to do that either. That ball could have been picked off. So it's now 1st and 25.
65 yards on 8 penalties called on Dawson. So now it's 1st down and 25. After the chop block, penalty takes Dawson back to their own 18. On the ground to Winnigan, straight ahead, over the 20, out to the 22. That's a 4-yard run.
Winnigan on the carry, on the stop, number 88, Damon Driggs.
Pearland defense stepping up big in key situations here. Dawson kind of running out of time, trailing 8-6 with 3:45 and counting. Start paying attention to that clock too, especially if they've got a punt here on now 2nd and 20.
From the pistol on 2nd down and 20. On the ground to Savion Johnson. Ball came loose, trying for those extra yards. Pearland say they have it. They do.
The Oilers erupting on the sideline after that huge turnover. And I tell you, if Dawson comes up short in this game, they can only blame themselves. Penalties, turnovers, they've played a great football game outside of that, but these mistakes are going to perhaps cost them one of the most important games here in Pearland.
Just simply fighting for more yards.
Yeah, plain as day. That ball was just laying there. It was jarred free, jarred loose. That's how you strip it right there.
Oilers will operate from the Dawson 28-yard line. A touchdown would seal the deal with an extra point, of course. Bumlick on the keeper.
Number 7, Jake Blumerick on
Just
the
short of the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
Well, let's look at the situation here. If you're Dawson, you need to get the ball back, first of all. Of course, you're trying to force a turnover. But Pearland's already in field goal position. But if you're Dawson, you've got to try to force a 3 and out here because that clock continues to move inside 3 minutes now. Both teams with all timeouts remaining.
2nd down and 7. Quick pass, complete. Diaz. He's got the only touchdown of the night. Out of bounds, sort of the 20. Forced out at the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the pass play. 3rd short.
This could be huge right here. One of the biggest plays of the game. Pearland can just about put it away with a 1st down. But again, both teams with all 3 timeouts.
Clock stop with 2:46 left here at the rig. 8-6 Oilers. Winner remains undefeated in District 22-6A. Keeper for Blumerick. 1st down and more, down outside the 10. A 10-yard rumble down to the 11 on 3rd down.
Injured player on the field too, but what a big play right there as Jake Blumerick calls his own number here. Design play, picks up the 1st down and then some. Nice piece of running right there. That's huge, all the way down to the 10-yard line, maybe the 11 they'll mark it.
That's an eagle down on the field. And it looks like it's big number 99, Jordan Rodriguez.
And he's been instrumental on the defensive side of the ball for Dawson. Both teams kind of huddled up now, discussing the situation here. Again, now 2:42 to play. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. But more importantly right now, Pearland with a 1st down. You see Eric Wells there in the ball cap talking to his team. He's got the clipboard in his hand. Headset off, left hand.
That's number 99.
And he'll be happy to know that one of his star defensive players right now is walking off the field under his own power, and that is good to see. Jordan Rodriguez There he is.
It's always good to see him walk off under their own power.
He's got the red polka dotted undershirt.
Second.
Gives him strength.
Well, this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 11. A touchdown and an extra point just about puts a stamp on things here in Pearland tonight.
Well, if you're Dawson, you're starting to use timeouts now after this play. And I might add that the play clock just started moving. Or check that, I mean, the game clock started moving, so it's down to 2:30.
Foster in at the running back's position. 1st and 10 from the Dawson 11. Handoff Foster. Lowers his shoulder, takes it down to the 1. He was dragging tacklers towards the end zone.
But if you're Dawson, you can't let him score a touchdown or that'll ice it.
Going to be 2nd down and short, though.
You know, you do see some situations where you almost allow the other team to score just so you can get the ball back and have a chance, but not here, because a touchdown and the extra point would pretty much put the game away.
Another Oiler is going to come off the field. That's Willie Williams. And well, it looks like he was slow to come off. Now he's going to trot back towards his offensive line's position. And we have a timeout, I believe. Yeah. They're going to measure. It's an official timeout for a measurement, maybe called by Tony Heath just to see how much his team would need to get a 1st and goal situation. And it's a link or two of the chain.
Well, we kind of assumed that was a 1st down there, but no.
Tony Heath talking with his offense. Mike Norman's the offensive coordinator. Everybody's called a great game. Penalties, 1 turnover, the turnover on downs, the blocked field goal, the missed field goal, touchdown called back.
That's hard to overcome.
It is, it is. And for both teams, I mean, that's why you see it at 8-6, because these teams, the defenses have played phenomenally. Offenses have kind of killed their own drives at times. But a big opportunity for Pearland here, knocking on the door, 2nd down and 1. Shotgun for Blumrick. Foster in at the running back spot. Foster tackled in the backfield. Off the edge, Trevante Moody. A loss back to the 3.
How about that play right there by Trevante Moody? He read that book and got into the backfield in a hurry. One more time, look at Moody. He is in on that play in no time. That's a loss of 3 yards. That's huge.
And Dawson take their first of their 3 timeouts here in the 2nd half.
That gives Dawson life right there. Little Uncle momentum coming back on their side.
Well, if you're just joining us, let's recap the scoring. First, there was a safety on a snap that went over the head of starting quarterback and punter Vance Galloway. He kicked it out of the back of the end zone, 2-0 Pearland. Dawson took their first lead on a 37-yard field goal by Tyler Day. Then a 10-yard touchdown run by Ryan Diaz. Pearland reclaimed the lead at 8-3 after failing on the 2-point conversion. A 26-yard field goal by Tyler Day, which capped off an 11-play, 63-yard drive, cut the Pearland lead to 2, and that was all in the first half. Pearland knocking on the door, just had 2nd down and 1 and lost 2 on the play.
The Eagles with 2 timeouts left. The Oilers with 3, minute 52 to play. Key situation here. The Dawson defense has looked good here in the 2nd half, but do they have one more stand in them?
Blumrick has nobody in the backfield with him. They're in tight along the line. 3rd down. Blumrick on the keeper. Well, he may have gotten the 1st down. He didn't get into the end zone. It'll depend on the spot of the football from the linesman. They didn't get it. He's short.
Now a decision to make if you're Tony Heath, facing now, looks like it's going to be 4th and a yard.
The officials will call a timeout. They may measure again just to see.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to get just inside the 1. The ball seems to be right on that 1 yard line. Let's look at this play one more time. Nice effort right there, but
it was the combination of John Alexander and Dylan Garcia.
I think Jake Blumrick is looking over and saying, hey, let's run a little quarterback sneak. What do you say? I got a big offensive line in front of me.
Well, if they don't get it, and they just got it,
wow,
it is a first down. But if they didn't get it, they decided to go for it and didn't get it, Dawson would have a long way to go. But it is a conversion on third down, the 14th first down for Pearland tonight. Their 9th third down conversion. They're converting at over 50% on their third down efficiency tonight. And the clock will continue to move. And a timeout now has been taken on the field. And I would think it's Dawson who called it, or if the officials stopped the clock.
Yeah, the officials are talking things over right now. I think this is an officials timeout. But if you're Dawson, you've got to find a way to keep him out of the end zone here. You're going to have to use both your timeouts here and really hope for a turnover. They really need a turnover now.
Ronnie Frazier has checked in.
Tony Heath is out in the middle of the field.
Normally on the defensive line. Frazier in for this play. And I wonder, it looks like the victory formation is out there because you've got one back deep. And with Dawson with 2 timeouts remaining and it's first down and goal, Pearland see no chance to run a risk of coughing up the football on goal line play. And if they so choose, I think they can run out the clock.
Looks like they're going to put 5 seconds on the clock and make it 1:25. Tony, like, looking up here and pointing at us, 1:25.
So if they're just going to take knees,
1-2-6.
Dawson can stop the clock twice on timeouts. But it would appear that Dawson's time will run out for any chance at another comeback. And they've had their opportunities to take the lead on a handful of occasions in this second half.
Yeah, they have. The touchdown that was called back, and then the turnover here just recently. Also a couple of key penalties on third downs where they had just picked up the first down. You hate to say anything negative about it because both teams have played really hard and really well, but there's the game right there. I mean, that's the difference.
Clock running. Blumrick will go under center. And he's actually going to go over his center. No signal yet from either linesman. They were set up in the victory formation, waiting a signal here.
Jake Blumrick with the keeper.
And he didn't get in. So now you wonder if that one back that was in the victory formation who were way back was just there in case of a fumble, perhaps be the only person, the only player on the field that could possibly make what could be a touchdown saving tackle on a fumble return. I mean, they're playing all the options, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and that ball looks like it is just a little bit short. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle, but 48 seconds left. I believe the Eagles have just used their second timeout, I believe.
They should have.
Down to their last one. You surprised by the moving the ball forward there?
Sort of, because they were set up in the victory formation. So it's, to me, it looks like, a little trickery. He's set up for a victory formation. But I think Dawson, hey, they had it in their mind, in the back of their mind, hey, let's not just treat this as a knee here. Because they stopped Blumrick.
And good for them for doing so. Which also kind of makes you wonder, I bet they don't do it again. I mean, you run the risk of fumbling the ball right there. That's the problem.
You take knees now. I mean, I know the scoreboard still says that Dawson have 2 timeouts remaining.
And they've also put the clock back up to 52 seconds now. I think we'll see the knee now for sure.
Here's Blumrick. Again over his center, trying to get a push from his running backs. And he's across. Touchdown, Pearland, as Jake Blumrick scores his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, I think Pearland right there felt like they didn't want to take a chance that having to perhaps do something on 4th down, like having to go for it or kick a field goal. This time they just take matters into their own hands and get the touchdown right up the gut. They've got such a huge offensive line. We talked about how we thought the game would be won on that line of scrimmage, and that's where Pearland has an advantage, a size advantage, and it's pretty noticeable too.
Now Pearland will call a timeout, discuss, because this is a very crucial extra point. If anything goes wrong, it's a one-possession game. If everything goes right, it's a two-possession game, and not enough time for Dawson.
Yeah, and if anybody knows about that, it's Dawson. They've missed a couple of field goals. They have had their fair share of special teams mistakes tonight. That extra push right there at the end, there he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Just kind of wondering if it might have been Jake Blumrick was pushing, but it looked like the official was running in there to almost say, that's it, play over, but apparently not.
Charlie McCullough.
Great job, though, and you got to like the fact that this is the first time these two teams have ever played, and what an epic battle it's been.
And regardless of the final score, these two will play again next year, probably play again the year after that. It's going to be a lot to live up to, this one.
Dawson looking like they want to block this kick for sure. That's their only chance to win. They have to have a block here.
Keller, 28. Check it now, 29 of 33 on his PATs. Good snap, everything works out. And the end over and kicks. Splits the uprights. It's a 9-point edge.
Good. That was number 10, Ryan Diaz holding to number 48.
For the Pearland Oilers.
Dick Keller.
47 seconds to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the game.
Lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.
The Oiler marching band feeling a victory. It's a 9-point lead for their Pearland Oilers. 1-yard touchdown run by Jake Blumrick. Scoring off the turnover, the fumble by Savion Johnson, cashing it in for points. An 8-play, 28-yard drive. 2 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock. The extra point by Keller was good, 15-6.
Again, the Oiler Restaurant gift card ticket.
Zach Smith has had to come here into the game at the quarterback position, and he's played very admirably. He has, no question about it. And you would think originally when Vance Galloway came out of the game, that would just be a huge blow against Dawson, but really that wasn't the game. I mean, he played well. It was penalties, the turnover.
That's 4-7-2.
Penalties, untimely. And the timely penalties when you consider that Dawson had a touchdown called back, which at the time would have given them the lead and probably forced a different approach from the Pearland Oilers. So now Keller will kick it off for the Oilers. And a high pooch kick. This one will be returnable. Twisting down to the 35-yard line on the return with Drake Rayner. So now 43 seconds. Just got to try to air it out and take your shots.
Yeah, if you're Dawson, you need a quick strike. You need a touchdown, then you've got to try an onside kick. Take your chances.
Eagle offense will take the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Dawson.
If you're Pearland, you drop everybody back. Safeties are way back on their own 40-yard line right now. They know what's up.
Smith from the shotgun, 1st down and 10. The Eagles will scrimmage from their own 35. Quick pass, that is inaccurate. No miscommunication between him and the intended C.J. Simmons.
Well, only a few seconds go off the clock right there, so really no harm, no foul, but they need to try to pick up some yardage. Probably not going to be looking in the middle of the field either. Try to find something down the sidelines.
Dawson will move on next week and take on Manville. Came in this week ranked 9th in the state according to Texas Football Magazine. That's a lateral. And it's caught by Winnigan. Burst of speed out to the 46.
He's got some speed, doesn't he?
11 yards, especially when he gets an opportunity to get a good start.
Well, he had over 2,200 yards rushing last year. Kind of shaking up on the play as he comes out. Well, what a tough assignment for Dawson to have to play Pearland and Manville in back-to-back weeks. Ouch.
Smith, plenty of time. Now pocket collapses, throws on the run over the middle and thrown behind the intended receiver. Flag is down.
Might have been some spearing going
Caleb
on.
White, the target on the play.
What do you think?
He's not happy
Targeting,
with the
maybe?
hit. No, we'll see.
Eric Wells was kind of motioning like, kick him out, looked like. Let's see.
Stops the clock with 18 seconds left here at the rig as some of the fans are starting to file out.
Well, think about this penalty and what it means. This puts Dawson in a position, if it is against Pearland, and especially if it's a personal foul.
It is a personal foul.
Where they can now put a Hail Mary up. They can throw the ball into the end zone now in one shot. And anything can happen in that situation. Wow, what
a hit from behind.
You know, that's, I tell you, that's a tough call to make because
Jonathan Sam was back there.
You want to let the players play, but safety is such a concern now in high school football. Those are the kind of plays that players get hurt on and concussions happen on, and that's one thing this game's trying to eliminate is concussions.
1st and 10. Smith fires it down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted.
And they'll get to do that again. But now the question is, with 13 seconds left, you've got to make sure you've got enough time to have an onside kick and run another play if you get it.
Smith was trying to find Mouton.
So think about that. This has got to be a pretty quick pass. I mean, down the field, but, maybe around the 20-yard line. Take your chances that way.
Oilers on their sideline, anxious to start celebrating. Here's Smith under pressure, fires on the run, picked off. Petty on the interception. Clock stopped with 1 second to go. Oilers celebrate, but they're going to have to run one more play. First interception thrown by the sophomore Zach Smith. The first on the season for junior Daniel Petty. One snap of the football puts this one in the books, and the Pearland Oilers will come away 6-0, and in district play, 4 wins and no losses. That was tipped as well.
Yeah, that was tipped. Nothing petty about that pick. You've got to be able to have the concentration to catch that ball off the tip. And here comes Petty.
That was Dylan Roach on the deflection.
Tony Heath making sure everybody's under control here. There is still 1 second left.
Pearland will improve to 6-0, 4-0 in district, 22-6A. Dawson will drop to 4-2 and suffer their first loss in district play. They will drop to 3-1. And when it comes down to undefeated teams, I like to liken it to a boxing match. When 2 undefeated fighters go toe-to-toe, they always say somebody's O must go. Well, in district play tonight, somebody's O, unfortunately, was the Dawson Eagles. And fortunately for the Pearland Oilers, the designated home team tonight, they remain undefeated and defeat the Dawson Eagles in the first of many rivalry games, 15-6. As we welcome you back upstairs here at the rig, Michael Silvers and Jeff Power. 15-6 the final score, but it was most certainly, Jeff, a hard-fought 15-6 victory for Pearland.
This is what rivalry games are all about. It lived up to the billing. We've talked about this first time these two teams have ever met. They left it all out there on the field. Think about this. These kids grew up together. They all know each other very well, and they left it all out there on the field, and that's what you like to see.
Things started off auspiciously for Dawson. They gave up a safety. They kicked a field goal, took a lead. Pearland got a touchdown on Ryan Diaz's 10-yard scamper. Another field goal by Dawson. And then later on in the second half, late, Jake Blumrick took it in That's the final score, 15-6. Dawson just couldn't find the end zone. They had their chances.
They did. Well, they did find it once, and it was called back, unfortunately for them, on a penalty. And that's what really did them in. The 8 penalties for, I believe it was 65 yards or so. That's hard to overcome, especially when it's taking first downs off the board. It's also taking a touchdown off the board. They couldn't overcome that. Then the key turnover late. Couldn't overcome that either. But their defense played well. It's kind of bad for them that they had to fall in this way. But
Sure.
they're going to learn a lot from it. These two teams, I mean, who knows? I don't think they'll see each other in the postseason because of the size difference in the enrollment. But no question about it. They left it all out there in the field, and they're going to get to do it again next year.
The Battle of Pearland for 2014 in this first annual Dawson Pearland Bowl goes to the Pearland Oilers. They win 15-6. For my partner Jeff Power and our entire Legacy Sports Network crew, I'm Michael Silver saying so long from the rig.
Thanks for all the savings with the discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're going to name her Bigne Apollinaria.
Steve's kid. Steve and Sandy getting it done. More people-orama.
Making savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
Have you recently lost your job or been denied medical care? Has your doctor told you their panel is full and they cannot take you? At Pasadena Health Center, we make healthcare affordable and provide access to reliable, quality healthcare in a caring atmosphere. We offer services in family medicine, dental, OBGYN, pediatrics, x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, and offer discounted fees for self-pay patients. Pasadena Health Center, where caring is what we do best.